Hey, what's up, everybody? Macho Fish Randy Salmon here. Here to commentate some great Barnyard gameplay for all y'all. All right.
Alright, so this is Barnyard, a 2006 licensed video game by Nickelodeon. I think I mentioned that. So instantly we're going to start off by talking to this guy named Miles, who is known as a lazy donkey, at least between me and Randy. So the thing about this game is that there's not a whole lot of flashy tricks, but there's a lot of a little cool little quirks. So if you know what you're looking for, you know what you're looking for. First off, we're going to start off with the animation skip here. We do that by jumping and then using the interact key to pick up that rock recipe. So as you saw, we also picked up some apples as well. We kicked a flour sack. We need that for a mission that a guy named Pig is going to be asking for.
Yeah, there's a lot of those small animation skips throughout the game. They save about a second apiece, but when you add it up over the course of a 3 hour plus run, it can lead up to minutes of time save, so it's definitely essential to be able to hit those. Woo! Yeah, unfortunately, the first 15 minutes of this game, it's kind of RNG dependent. There are a couple different barriers to get past, and however, if everything does go right and those barriers are met, we could be set up for quite an incredible run. Mm, that's totally a production call on your end. Yeah. All right. And that is time 2 minutes and 34 seconds. That is a new world record by, we're looking at a 2 hour and 56-minute PB. Oh, yeah. We've within the last year of this game, we have made a lot of advancements, a lot of time save, where we found not necessarily sequence breaks, but just fun little glitches that we can implement throughout the game. Uh, oh. Well, yeah, we were supposed to pause it at 2:56, the new world record. Exactly. No blindfold, crazy. Shout out Blubs and Tarkin chat. Great to see some homies from the community coming out to represent. Break bends here. Yeah, not for the game, no. No. Shout out to Erratix as well, new community mod, and good luck on your exam today if you are here. Blub says, donate to Urban Arts for 3-hour Barnyard blindfolded speedrun. Ambitious call there, Blubs. Ambitious call. Oh, surely. Light work, light work. Yeah. Love the high mom setup. Rip. All right, here we go. First time. Yeah. Bear in mind, this is not the only instance in which we are going to be running various food items for pig. This is a common occurrence all throughout the game. So, I believe so, yes. That is the most optimal voice line. There are a couple longer ones than others that can be some RNG determinants, and we did not get a good voice line going out. Yes. Yep, the best voice line you can get for exiting the kitchen is "Party on," and it should only last about a quarter to a half a second. So we did not get one of the good voice lines there, unfortunately. However, getting that earlier flower was a good trade-off, though. Hey, some something. You see, the sunglasses act as the best disguise that we could possibly come up with, so nobody will know that it is us in the process that is going around doing the squirting. Yeah, picking up that flower in that spot actually has been a newer optimization. There's been some debate in the community on when it is most optimal to pick that flower up, and granted, it's only like a second worth of time save. However, we're at a point in this run now where every second worth of optimization is essential.
Hey! Whoa, what the hell? I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her.
Constantly coming in trying to steal from all the good barn animals, so we gotta practice up on being able to defend the barnyard.
So, you know, it helps to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty much a common recurring theme along this game is a lot of these, smaller minute time saves. However, granted how long this run actually is, it really does add up in the end. After, all the animation skips, all of the different little cutscene skips and everything we do, it can add up to minutes worth of time save.
And quickly, I'm just going to cut off Randy. We're going to do a quick little alt-tabbing trick here. It's going to look a little weird on stream probably, but I can assure you that I can see the game just fine. And what I'm doing is that I'm alt-tabbing in and out of the game to stop these pigs from doing animations that kick the pipe or jump over the pipe. And there's actually a way to do like an insta-kill, but the community has not been able to find a consistent method for actually doing it. So you can't see it right now, but we did just finish the minigame.
And that was a very good mud jumper. So.
Arguable, very good. Not my best, but we're not going to complain. Yeah, from here on, there's one more mud jumpers that we do. It's very luck dependent. The main thing that we need the pigs to not do is jump, because if they jump too soon, we're not actually able to do the trick itself. All right, and Hannah, this hen is, she lost 10 of her eggs, which, what an irresponsible mother, really. We are gonna go around the barnyard finding all of these. Gonna do a quick little displacement jump on top of one of those chicks. I don't really think it saves time, but it looks cool in my eyes, so that's why I do it. So this animation skip coming up is actually how I found animation skip in general. I accidentally was doing what's called Night Barn %, one of the categories for the game. And I accidentally jumped and did the interact button, and it just opened the gate without me doing the animation. And since then, it sparked, so much time saved throughout the run. So shout out animation skip and shout out accidents, because they lead to great things sometimes. And we're about to do a bunch of animation skips right now.
Yeah, once again, just like I said, common recurring theme of this game, especially too, you can see it in this spot, all these animation skips. You're saving 10-ish seconds there as compared to picking them up normally, so just great example there of how those little minute details really add up throughout the run.
That's the one thing about this game that you're going to notice as we go along, as it is a 3-hour speed run, is that there's going to be a lot of repetitive mini games as well as just movement in general. So really, it's an endurance test more than it is like a complete skill test in terms of the tricks in this game.
Yeah.
Because the tricks aren't super hard, but getting them down is what really matters.
And speaking of that, we have one of our first major tricks of the run coming up here, VVazzip. If you wanted to explain what we're going to be doing here, this trick we have called JCSS.
Absolutely. So what we just got from Otis is his bike. It is arguably the most important item in the entire game. More classes, so I kind of lied a little bit. Basically, with the bike, we can do many tricks. Most importantly, we get around the barnyard just a lot quicker. The trick that we're about to do is called Jersey Cow Squirt Skip. that basically involves us doing what's called a fence super jump. Essentially, you're able to do what's called a normal super jump that involves pressing the spacebar and right control, which happen to be jump when it comes to the bike. And we're gonna alternate those. And we're gonna alternate those and go up really high on top of the ceiling of the barnyard here. That was a really high jump.
That was a very high jump, but we were able to get it.
And a nice little front flip just to cap it off too, why not? So from here, we're actually able to squirt these Jersey cows that we're supposed to be able to, that we're supposed to do normally. We're supposed to go to what's called Dankweed Pond, which you guys will see that name in a little bit here. And basically we're able to just be in the void and just stand here, talking to the Jersey cows while they're just sitting below us.
Yeah, all things considered for the total history of the game, this is actually a pretty recent find, and it's pretty monumental. It saves about
I lost my bike.
2 total minutes worth of time.
I don't know where my bike went. I hope that it respawns. It did not. Okay. That is kind of a problem. It might have fallen off the map.
Fortunate, I hope.
Oh, nope, we found it.
There we go. It just kind of slid.
Yeah,
we found the bike. Very nice. And that is, regardless, a successful JCS as done. And we're getting to sleep here in sub 10 minutes, which for a long time without this trip would not even be a timestamp that we had in discussion here.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Getting sub 10 was sub 10 sleep is the biggest milestone that we reached at first, I want to say, for early game. And then from there, we've been able to get like a 9.1x. Now 9.0x is actually doable. So it's really impressive what we've been able to do with this game.
Oh, absolutely.
And I got a squirt route before I head off here as well. I'm going to do a quick little sign jump here. Oh, I messed it up. I was supposed to jump over that sign, and it would give me a lot of momentum going over here to Gopher Hill. So Root actually just asked us to go buy a pool table for the night barn. The night barn is basically just a nightclub for the animals, and you can buy a bunch of stuff. We buy everything in the 100% category, and I mean, the place looks stunning after it, really. So we quickly buy that, head out, and I will hand over the next trick to Randy here, because it is his namesake, really.
Yeah, so this is arguably the most important trick that we've ever found in the game, and it was solely just through me playing the game randomly, and I say that absolutely jokingly, but it's a camera manipulation that I've coined as salmon skip, and what we do here is we head in this corner talking to Root at a very specific angle, and it's going to pan the camera over in a certain way to where it instantly spawns in build the bull we need to talk to get into the night barn. And ordinarily without this, it was a pretty inconsistent setup. And there it is, successfully done.
Nice little half second to maybe, I don't know, 2 seconds time save depending on your skill level.
Yeah, it's more of a convenience thing because you would have to kind of pan the camera around waiting for Bill to spawn in. But regardless, yeah, salmon skip. It is the only namesake that I have in this game, and I'm taking it to the grave. So
You got it before I even had a trick named after me. So shout out Randy for that. All right. The most important minigame, the one that kills most runs, if not all, really. It's really the deciding factor of most runs. We have pool incoming here, and I'll hand that off to Randy if he wants to explain it.
Yeah. So this minigame is one of the biggest RNG points throughout the game, and it can be a hard stop where we decide to continue a run or not. An optimal point right now for getting out of this minigame, I would consider to be around 14:30. That would be a pretty excellent pool. You can get insanely lucky in this minigame by having Duke pocket the black ball. It has personally happened to me 3 times, and it just so happens that I've thrown every single one of those runs. But that's kind of the god tier RNG. We see Duke just playing out of his mind right now, and that's just kind of something you have to deal with in this minigame is Duke just going off, and you just kind of have to sit there and watch and pray that he either fouls out or pockets the black ball, or you go on a run yourself. So.
Sometimes he plays absolutely insane, and then other times he's just the dumbest player you've ever seen. It's kind of like impressive how bad he is sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty polarized. You don't really have like a consistently good or a consistently okay Duke. He's either the most insane pool player in the entire world, or he is just randomly shooting at things and fouling off every single shot. There's no in between.
And it's really funny sometimes. It's honestly just hilarious just how bad he is.
Oh,
Calculated. Yeah, I've personally had Duke shoot in the black ball immediately, like, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 times. I actually threw that one of my runs really badly. One time I was like 2 minutes ahead and I just completely lost the lead. So, you know, it's a very luck-dependent thing. Don't really have a good shot here. I'm just gonna kind of send it and hope that the black ball doesn't go in, because I didn't really have any angle there.
yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things in this mini game is you kind of just have to get the hand that's dealt to you and play it accordingly, and just kind of hope that Duke messes up with the opportunity. Overall, though, we're not on a terrible pace at all right now.
Not at all. All right, just need to sink in this black ball and we will be done. So long as that yellow ball. Okay, we are
And
good. All right.
overall, this is phenomenal pace right now. This would actually be a run that we would take under any other normal circumstances as well. So, great
Maybe
job
the other
getting out of
runners.
pool.
I'm at the point where I need to take a sub 1330 pool out of this. And if I don't get that, it's basically a dead run for the most part. So
Yeah. I've one of the common debates throughout the community is how nitpicky you should be at pool.
oh yeah.
And I personally am way too overcritical of my pools when I just have another 3 hours worth of game that I need to run. But yeah, it's definitely a barrier throughout the game though. So it's very, very nice that we were able to see it go smoothly and efficiently throughout this run, because there are some points where it could be a complete not reset of the game, but where we would have to start the mini game over again, and that's a major time loss that we were able to avoid. So thankfully we have that.
Very thankful for that. All right, and now we are going to move on to a mini game called Tease the Mailman. If you've seen any memes surrounding this game, there's a good chance you know exactly how this game mode is going to go. Basically, we tease the mailman by dancing behind him. If he turns around, you got to act like you're not doing anything. The best instance of RNG that you can get is 2 long moves that add up to 50, because you only need 100 to complete this minigame. So we're just going to hope that we get the good moves. So we did not get good RNG already, which is just unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Wow, yeah, we did not get lucky there at all. So now we just have to wait through this cycle. So usually if we're able to finish the minigame before he turns around, that's considered 1 cycle, of course. But obviously we did not get it. Not the end of the world. Kind of loses like 6 seconds, I think.
Yeah, overall though, given that it was a 2 cycle, not a worst 2 cycle, because we were able to get off 2 long moves and 1 short move. So probably the most efficient 2 cycle that we could ask for.
Oh yeah. Next up we have what's called Bike Race 1. So basically we are going to be racing the Jersey cows around the barnyard. And this minigame is really just a like... The best way to optimize it is your stamina usage. The bike stamina usage is really essential to saving time in this game. I'd say it's probably the biggest like skill gap for most new runners and high-level runners, as well as general bike placement before we talk to these Jersey cows. So if I'm able to just place it like down like that, really simple, then that's really clean, nice, no problems. Sometimes you can like fall off the bike there, or it shoots in a random direction. So
Yeah, and a little bit of forward thinking and just knowing the controls of the game and how the game plays is really, really essential in order to having good stamina usage in addition to bike placement. And it's like VVazzip was saying, it's one of those things that sets top level runners apart from even the higher level runners. Like we're talking like top 3, 4, 5 on the board.
absolutely. So this bike race, there's not really a lot of optimization left unless some huge sequence break is found at some point, which honestly, knowing this game, that's not very likely, unfortunately, but you never know. Speedrunning is one of those hobbies where it just evolves over time, so we might see something new at some point. One of the things I will note about the bike, as you just saw, I will jump sometimes up vertical like slopes, or anything vertical at all to conserve my stamina, which will ultimately just allow me to be faster because I'm able to use stamina more, or in different areas that I normally would not have it if I used it up those slopes.
Yeah, just going back again to really making the most of that stamina efficiency and those little minute details, especially on a mini game like Bike Race where you're locked in and you have to just keep on going as fast as you possibly can always. As you saw earlier, VVazzip did pick up a red pepper there, and what that does is it completely refills your stamina. So it just kind of becomes a balancing act of being able to efficiently manage your stamina, but also using it up before you get to that pepper because you're going to be able to get a full bar back.
And there will be a point much later in the run, I want to say about 2 hours in, where we're actually able to purchase another bike that will allow us to kind of just be, at least for me, I become a lot more sloppy with my stamina usage because you just have so much extra stamina by the time you get to like certain missions and stuff. So it's a huge weight lifted off, and we actually recently rerouted part of the run so that we actually buy it a lot later than we used to. We used to buy it after the mission Cow Tipping 1. Now we buy it at Joyride 3, which, if you don't know the speedrun, it's just a bunch of words that I'm spitting out at you, but...
Pretty much a more optimized point in the game. Just we're going to be going to the Gopher Underground for a mission with Joey the Gopher like we were earlier when we bought the pool table. So just more efficient routing. Also, VVazzip, if you wanted to explain why you crashed off your bike at the end of Bike Race 1, I think that's pretty important.
Oh, yeah, good point. So we crash at the end because if you go through it normally, there's a shortcut scene that kind of just spins around your character. It's just, it's a set amount of time, but you can completely skip it by crashing off the bike. And it's really only, we've tried it on other versions of the console versions of this game, but it's not very consistent, weirdly enough. So it's worth going for. It's very worth going for. It saves you probably around like 10 to 15 throughout the entire run.
Yeah. And going back to what we were talking about earlier with Pig the Glutton, we just entered the veggie patch there to pick up more food because Pig requires some apples right now, but he's going to need those strawberries later on. And also, too, Freddy the Ferret, he's going to become both a vegetarian and a fruitarian at points throughout the run, so he doesn't eat the chicken peck, or is at least not tempted to eat the chicken peck.
Yeah, you can see him by the chicken coop right now.
Yes. Yeah, just sitting there nervously biting his nails and essentially going through chicken withdrawal. But...
We're about to end the first chapter of 9 here by taking Pip over to Otis in the place that I mentioned earlier called Dankweed Pond, which it'll show up on the screen. So if you want to laugh at that, you can. I'm so used to it at this point that whenever someone points it out, I'm kind of just like, yeah, that's the name. I don't know what the developers were on when they made this game, but it's kind of clear by the name of this place, so I don't know. There it is. Dankweed Pond.
Yeah.
And what we just did there is what's called a reverse log jump. It's not a super time-saving thing, but it looks very cool, in my opinion. But basically, you just go the opposite way of the log, the way the log is positioned from the dock. So now we enter raccoon season. This one, we are about to actually hit a pretty slow and somewhat boring part of the run, unfortunately. This part of the run is actually normally where runners would go to the bathroom, grab water, do something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of mini games here that are set time mini games. So unfortunately, there's no skips, no anything that you can do to advance them. So it's set 3 minutes worth of time for both this mission, Chasing Chicks, and the next mission coming up, which is going to be Veggie Patch Defense. And we're going to hopefully see VVazzip able to do a cool trick where he can hop on top of the little shed that's over here and make Otis perpetually run around in a circle trying to chase him and squirt him, because the whole objective in this minigame is to grab the chicks and throw them back into the chicken coop to get points. But we can manipulate Otis by picking up a chick and having him chase us, so that he essentially gets stuck and is unable to score any points.
Let's see. Should be chasing after me. Oh, is he going to do the cool one too? Please, Otis.
Yeah, we got a Wazzy spin. There we go.
So I have an emote code called. I used to have my name on Twitch called VVazzip. So it's called Owazi Spin, and it's just Otis doing this animation.
And
It's pretty
everybody
silly.
is spamming the Owazi spins in chat. Also, Birch, it's me, Macho Fish, Randy Salmon on commentary. So
Shout out Birch.
yeah, shout out Birch.
My friend that I've known since kindergarten. It's great that he supports me through my silly speed game.
So yeah, this is what Wazip was talking about ordinarily, just because the game is safe at this point to walk away from. Runners use this as an opportunity to go use the restroom, given that this is a long run, grab something to drink, or just take some time to interact with chat. So
Yeah, unfortunately, there is, I think, 7 missions that are timed. One of them that you actually have to stay for throughout the entire thing because it's a follow mission, basically, where you have to... I won't spoil anything yet. We'll get to it when we get there. But you have to follow, like, certain NPCs, and it lasts, like, 3.5 minutes. Or it's the worst mission in the game.
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have any game audio present, but for some reason, the developers decided to crank the audio up by 15 decibels-ish in that portion of the game, so it's always a warning to headphone users at that point in the game.
Luckily, you guys don't have to deal with that, though.
Erratic says, worst mission in the game by far, I hate it.
And the good thing about these chasing chick minigames, we have this one and then another one versus the Jersey Cows, is that we can also leave early. So, yeah, free time save. We love that.
Absolutely. Always love some free time save.
Oh, yeah.
And we see Hannah jumping for joy here, so we know that we left the mission correctly.
One little quirk about that mission is that if one of the NPCs in the mission is throwing a chick and you leave as the chick is in flight, you will fail the mission and have to redo it, which loses about 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's a lesson I've had to learn the hard way.
Me and you both. Me and you both.
And coming up next here, we have that second auto-scroller mission that I had mentioned, Veggie Patch Defense. So going along with the theme earlier that we were talking about with Sharp Squirter, we're putting our newly found squirting skills to the test as the raccoons are going to try to steal some vegetables from the farmer, and we have to stop them from doing so. Talk to Miles again here, and he's giving us the lowdown on what's going on, and that we're on defense duty. So another fun 3-minute auto-scroller.
Yeah, the one thing about this mission is that you are defending the veggie patch, so you actually kind of have to pay a little bit of attention, but for the most part, you can kind of just like be off in your own like world for a good majority of it. The one thing that you can do that was actually found by one of the members in the Discord, or in the community, I should say, Party Turtle, aka Faced Khilpad, was basically you stand by one of the openings that the raccoons make, and they kind of just all swarm in that area. But the one thing you have to make sure of is to not get hit by these tomatoes. Luckily, on this version of the minigame, you don't have to worry about it too much, but later on you're going to see just how aggressive these raccoons get.
Yeah, Veggie Patch Defense 3, so there's 3 different instances in where we have to defend the Veggie Patch. The third and last one, there's actually a very unfortunate thing that can happen called tomato looping, where you basically get caught into a frame-perfect situation where the raccoons throw tomatoes in a certain way that completely locks you out of your movement, and it's a failure of the minigame, and unfortunately there's not really much you can do besides just trying to spam some movement options to get out of it. It's very unfortunate when that does happen. It's happened to me personally in runs, and unfortunately there's just nothing you can do, and you just kind of have to eat the time loss. But it's pretty rare that it happens overall, so hopefully, knock on wood here, we don't have to see or worry about any of that, but that's going to be a lot farther down the line in this run.
Yeah, so we have some very exciting and thrilling gameplay right now, as you can see. Yeah. Hey Archie, how you doing?
Yeah, if you stand in front of this opening in the fence here, the raccoons will not enter. So we try to keep that area of the fence open just so we can keep all the raccoons grouped up into one spot and make the mini game just even more brainless than it already is.
Oh, and one thing to note about this mission is that since you can't leave it early, facing the camera with your cow is actually going to save you time, because usually there's an animate. Basically, the cow has to face the camera and do a dancing animation, So if you're not facing it already, you're kind of just losing time, basically.
Erratix also said face Hilpad mention. So great job on your pronunciation, by the way. Your Dutch is improving.
Oh, I try, man. I try. Shout out the Dutch invasion of the Barnyard community.
Absolutely. We love all of our Dutch friends.
All right, back to the actual fun gameplay. We're going to be going to Ben's Hill here, doing a sharp squirter for Ben. This one is weirdly, like, for me, this one and the BD Farm one are the two that, like, kind of get to me. This one especially just because the lock-on mechanic of the squirting is a little janky, which you can't expect the world from a licensed video game, but you know, it does end up losing time sometimes just because of how finicky it can be.
Yeah, especially with this kind of being an afterthought port. So the game was originally designed to be on the current, well, not the current generation of consoles, however, the current generation of consoles at the time, so that being Wii, PlayStation 2, and Xbox and GameCube as well. But the PC port of it, that's why we have kind of some of the scuffed mechanics, if you want to call it that, in this port of the game that make the game beautiful and give us the opportunity to do some of the skips that we have available to us.
Which there are some exciting ones. One similar to JCSS is going to be coming up at some point.
Yes,
I will mention that when we get there, of course. But we're just going to finish out this mission. Like I mentioned earlier, you can actually leave this one early, so that is a nice little time save that we can take advantage of.
Absolutely. Yeah, overall this game, especially too with the sharp squirters, you really can display, even though the game can be jank at sometimes, how technical and fluid the movement options in this game really can be and how many small optimizations there are.
Like that little jump that I did down the ramp is actually something that I added within like the last month, just because getting around that little bend from Ben's Hill is actually just a little, there's weird hitboxes, which you can kind of expect from a game that looks like this. And that's one thing that I'll take advantage of for the most part, is the hitboxes in this game. But, yeah.
Yeah, some of the polygons and just different way that the hitboxes and hurtboxes in this game were designed. They can be finicky at times and they can be a barrier, but overall I would say that they have been very helpful in our ability to play this game quickly. So yeah, it's been very cool to be able to discover some new tricks or anything like that just by manipulating the game mechanics that are available to us.
Alright, and now we're actually going to do one of the first ever sequence breaks found in this game. We are about to, after we talk to Joey the Gopher here, we're actually going to buy a honey item. We're going to buy 2 of those because we also need to do a baking mission later on. But one of these actually skips an entire mission that you basically don't see if you've ever speedrun the game.
Yeah, so ordinarily when running the game in a casual sense, for the mission coming up here, Hannah asks us to go and retrieve some honey for her, and we would have to go into the area by Walnut Woods and retrieve that honey by reaching into beehives and stealing honey from the bees, and it is a very, very time-consuming mission to do. But we found out that just spending some of our hard-earned gopher bucks and buying that honey circumvents the entire need to go and do all of that work. So just spending our money in order to evade work.
Shout out to Whale for finding that like 7 to 8 years ago at this point.
Yeah, it was one of the first real major time saves found in the run, and it's only ever been up from there.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna do a hide and seek minigame for Maddie the chick. We're gonna do a bunch of animation skips for each of the chicks. Once again, we're just gonna be doing stamina management here. But there's not a whole lot that you can do because there's only a certain amount of stamina that you're actually given for the walking in general. So we're just gonna do our best to use it whenever we have the chance, even if it's just a little bit. Another thing I forgot to mention with this game is that every single mission is a mission that you have to complete. There are no side missions. So whenever you see an exclamation point, you have to complete that mission.
Yeah, and there are some points in the game where we'll have multiple missions available to us, so you kind of have the liberty to do whatever missions you want. And as a community, we've really come together over the last year and a half to find out the most optimal pathing for every mission in the game. And we're finally at a point where we are very content with the order that we do missions in, and it's very optimized.
Super. So we just did the honey skip as you saw. We only had to talk to Hannah. That's basically the entire mission now. And now Otis is being a lazy dude as he usually is and making us do his dirty work. So now we're actually going to go meet him at Dankweed Pond. He's going to tell us that we need to go round up his friends to bring them all to the Barnyard. Oh, and luckily I did a jump animation skip, or a jump storage on the bike, so I was actually able to skip the little animation that we do there.
Yeah, if you want to explain what the jump storage does, that would be great.
So basically, before I hop on the bike, I just do a simple jump input. As you can see there, it's going to store it. It's not going to be the best jump that you've ever seen. It's not necessary in most areas of this game, but it can save time in specific areas. For example, on Gopher Hill, it kind of just lets us hop on the bike without having to do any inputs, and then we're able to just simply jump up the hill a little faster. We will also use it later on when we get to a mission where Otis is also at the dock again at Dankweed Pond, and we'll just teleport basically straight in front of him, and having that animation skip, or this jump storage will skip an animation where we shake off the water off the cow.
Yeah, and this mission here, I've always been under the opinion that Otis is just being a terrible friend, basically just having us go to seek out his friends to go to meet up with him to have fun at the pond, but completely does not invite us. So essentially we're going out telling all of his friends, hey, go meet Otis at the pond, and he's just like, yep, thanks, dude, now we're going to go have fun. Thanks for doing all my work.
Even worse is that all his friends forgot that they were doing this too. So it's all around just bad friendship on the Barnyard, man. What's wrong with these guys? One of my favorite things about this mission, though, one of my favorite things about this mission is that Pip actually sits on top of our head. When you're not running, he kind of just is very static. It's kind of funny, but when you're running around and on the bike, he's kind of just flapping around holding onto the top of your hair. It's honestly one of my favorite animations in the game.
Yeah, it was a cool little minute detail that the devs put in referencing back to the movie.
Oh yeah.
You'll see that as a pretty common point throughout this game. Obviously, it's a licensed game, so they're doing it based off of the movie, but some good recovery movement there. But the devs really did an excellent job of just capturing the entire vibe of what the movie was going for and everything like that, and really making this a fun open world game in a time where a lot of licensed games were extremely sequenced. So they were kind of breaking the norm in that regard while also keeping true to the story and keeping the game fun and engaging.
The only problem is that there's no Biggie Cheese in this game. So
yeah, that is a major problem.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint all the Biggie Cheese fans. I know there's a lot of you.
There are several Biggie Cheese enjoyers. Myself being one of them.
So, getting back to the fun and thrilling gameplay, we're about to have another timed mission here where we have to defend raccoons from grabbing eggs from the chicken coop, called Chicken Coop Defense. Yeah, very fun mission.
As you can guess, another 3-minute autoscroller.
Oh yeah.
It's
fantastic stuff.
Very common recurring theme throughout the run. We probably have a solid, 21 minutes worth of auto-scrollers?
I would argue more than that, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
I think somewhere in the 30 range.
Yeah, the basically 30 minutes of AFK gameplay.
It's awesome. On top of the loading screens, on top of the dialogue, it all adds up, man. It's great.
That 30 minutes of AFK gameplay, though, is definitely replaced by 30 minutes of very intense gameplay in the form of the minigame Golf, which we are going to come up here very shortly.
Yeah. You will see the joys of golf. You will learn how much fun it is just by seeing my... It's either I'll be really good at it, or I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna throw, basically.
Yeah, that's a pretty common recurring theme for this game is it's a very polarized game. There's not really kind of many runs, like did pretty decent or played pretty consistently. It's one of those games where you're either playing out of your mind or everything is just missing.
Unless you're me and you happen to get 3 1-second comebacks.
Yeah.
At some point in your lifetime, which I don't even know how I pulled it off, but
Truly phenomenal.
yeah, still can't believe those runs happened. I'm sure another one will happen at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
This is the run, actually.
He's the Barnyard comeback king.
Apparently that's my claim to fame, yeah.
Very well-earned title.
Yeah, the one thing you can note if you are looking at these speedrun boards as well is that I have the only sub-3 time, at least RTA. That has been a long time coming. It was the first major goal that we strived for with this speedrun, especially when I first joined the community. The time was 3:35:20, and I mean I barely beat it by like a minute, and then it's we've shaved 35 minutes since that time that I joined 6 years ago.
Yeah, it was theorized for such a long time that sub-3 would not even be possible, but the community in the last 4 years has blown up exponentially, and we have some really, really great people behind the scenes in this community working on glitch hunting and giving us all of these new speedrun tools that we have used to really, really push this game as far as we can. So shout out to Longhorn, shout out to Infinite Core. The work you guys do for the community is beyond cool. In addition to that, we are beyond thankful to have you guys in the community.
Yeah, Infinite Core is one of the modders responsible for a lot of the practice mods that have come up. I was using it before this run even, and it's one of the mods he made actually has a load timer, move timer, basically, or an in-game time, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. And it's just been, he's just done great work in terms of just making this game a lot more accessible to a lot of people.
Absolutely. Very thankful for everybody we have in the community. We've been able to really build up something great over the years.
Absolutely. Coming up here, we do have another animation skip on one of these gates. And okay, got it, sweet. Weird thing about that is that the hitbox is just funky on those gates when you go through it, so you just got to be careful not to bump into them, which I did end up doing. Coming up here, though, we have a funky little game mode where we are flying as Peck.
Personal bane of my existence minigame. I have lost many a run to this minigame.
So, weird little quirk about this one. The gameplay is pretty straightforward, so I don't think I need to explain too much here. Is when the FPS is like going up and down on this minigame, your movement with your mouse can just, it shoots you in a random direction. And with these tight corners, like for example, that tunnel that is coming up to our right there, we will have to fly through it at some point. If your FPS is dropping through there, you can very easily just like lose, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds just to something that's pretty much out of your control.
Yeah, it'll just launch you straight into a collidable object, and if you make any kind of contact with any kind of hitbox within this minigame, it is a reset of the minigame and you have to do it over. So that's one of the unfortunate things. So the safe method is to use WASD and space to control Peck during that mission.
I went for the super jump.
It's a little bit of funky movement to get down at first, but definitely for the insurance of having a safe minigame, it's worth it to learn. And up here we have the infamous golf that we were talking about earlier, so if you want to talk about that a little bit, it's overall it's a mission that he's going to have to lock in for at later points in the run. This first golf, though, isn't too bad.
No, it's not terrible. Most people, when they come into my chat, for the most part, are like, I hate this minigame. I hate this minigame. Like, it's just, there's no good vibes around it. And ironically, it's actually one of my favorite in the speedrun because of the amount of skill that goes into it. However, there is slight RNG with where the ball lies after you tee it off with the cow. Obviously, we are using gophers to throw these balls here, which that's not how golf works. At least not in real life, as far as I'm aware. I mean, you know, there could be an underground golf ring, underground gopher golf ring or something. But yeah, basically we are just throwing the ball the best that we can. There's not really much else to say. For some reason, the first golf you are put on a timer rather than put on an amount of strokes, which we will have that later on. One of the unfortunate things about this run is that we do actually repeat this mini game like continuously throughout the game. So it is the bane of my existence just a tiny bit sometimes. Some days I'm playing really good on it, and then other days it's like it's like I'm touching the game for the first time. I don't know. Still doing better than most people that run the game, but you know, I just feel like I just can't do anything.
Oh, brag about it. Real quickly here, I just want to give a shout out. We have Banana Boy Sam in chat, who is one of the guys who actually worked on programming this beautiful game that we're playing right now. He joined our Discord community a while ago, and he's here in chat right now. So if everybody wants to give him a warm welcome.
Yeah, shout out Banana Boy. I don't know exactly what you did for this game, but you obviously had a role in creating this game, so thank you for joining the community. You've answered questions to the best of your ability, even though you don't remember much, because obviously this game was made in 2006, so with game development, you're obviously not going to remember every game. But
yeah, you've produced something that's not only childhood nostalgia for us, but overall beautiful, beautiful licensed game. Did absolutely phenomenal work and has provided us countless hours worth of entertainment.
Totally. Entertainment is definitely the word I would use. I've definitely never gotten upset with this game for any reason.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I love this game. I actually do.
Oh, yeah.
I love this game so much. I think that's gonna work. I'm surprised that worked.
Beautiful shot.
Thank you, Golf, for actually being really nice to me there. Sometimes the ball in this minigame can actually just act in ways that is very unpredictable. For example, sometimes the ball will just keep rolling after you've thrown it like a long time ago, which sometimes can work to your favor. Other times it kind of just wastes time because you have to chase after the ball and all that. So that was actually a really good throw there.
That was a beautiful, beautiful golf. Great job.
Surprisingly good. And for some reason, the hole is staying up on the screen right now, which does not happen all the time. I don't have that experience. I don't have that happen on my runs at all, so I'm surprised that it's actually happening. But that's just the Barnyard drink for you.
And here we are going to be ending the second chapter of the game. So now I'm really moving on to the meat and potatoes of this game, Coyote Season.
The longest chapter in the game. This one lasts about an hour, I'd say.
Major RNG point coming up in the run right here as well, if you wanted to explain what we're about to do.
Before I move on to that, I do want to explain one of the Dutch members of the community, Yelman, who actually has a 6-hour speed run. Shout out Yelman for that run. You are a beast.
Absolutely.
He accidentally, basically we had an original way of doing the set of missions that is coming up right now. He accidentally went to the right here one time, and apparently it saves 3 seconds. Like a guy that never played the game before just found a 3-second time save. I was watching his run, and he did it. I'm like, wait, that might actually be faster. Tested it out. Turns out it saves around 3 seconds. Probably a little faster because my bike movement wasn't even good when it was found too. So it's incredible the amount of like accidental time saves that have been found in this game.
Yeah, so shout out to Yelman for the Dutch routing, as we call it now. That has saved us numerous seconds throughout the game.
And we have 2 more instances of Dutch routing as well. Yeah, we'll get into it when we get there. I just did a jump animation storage. That way we can skip the water shaking animation when we fall into the water here. Because as you can see, fall in, and then we have Otis right here. Talk to him instantly.
Beautifully done.
Those 2 together save around like 2 seconds, I want to say. Initially, we used to ride the bike all the way to the dock and spin it around, but it's just faster to fall in the water and then pick up the bike later. So
yeah.
As you can see in the top right as well, we have the 10 flowers that Otis is asking. Basically, he's confessing his love to one of the new cows on the barn named Daisy. So that's why we collected those flowers much earlier in the run, because it's just faster to grab them then than it is to grab them now.
Yeah, Daisy has been in the barnyard for a whole 4 hours now at this point, and Otis is already confessing his love to a woman he's never met, so.
She's pregnant too.
Yeah, she was also pregnant.
Before she even came here.
Shift with the raid, 192. Thank you very much,
Shift.
Shift. Let's go, Shift.
What's up, Shift? One of the first people that actually got me into speedrunning, so shout out Shift for the huge raid as always. Can't wait to see your run here. I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Absolutely, I know that I am. I unfortunately can't be here in person as I have to work a job for a living.
Boo.
But yeah, I know, working, boo. But I definitely will have the stream up to watch Shifts run while I'm at work. I'm just gonna retreat into the office and be lazy for an hour.
There you go. All right. So as Randy mentioned earlier, there is an RNG what's the word? Dependent minigame coming up here, mission I should say, that Duke the dog is gonna have us do, where we basically have to collect these cans out of the barnyard. He basically just wants to help recycle. So actually, he's doing a good thing by trying to save the earth here. But this mission can cost you up to like 20 seconds if you get bad RNG. So we're gonna hope that we get some good RNG. The best RNG that you can get out of this first dig spot is 4 cans, and then the second one is 2 cans. 2 can. So we're gonna hope that we get some good RNG here.
Yeah, definitely another one of those run barriers we were talking about earlier, and well, this is going swimmingly.
We got 1. Okay, we got 2 at least. All right, that's decent. All right, so this is actually a new spot that I've started using recently, because it actually can come up with a lot of cans, which we did not get very lucky with, unfortunately. And none there. Okay, so we're just gonna deal with the 5 that we got from the spots. There's also one towards the sleeping area that you can grab that can give up to, I think, 5 as well, but that's very unlikely, so it's just not completely worth going for.
Yeah, bell curve for each of these spots, you're looking at about an average of 2 cans per spot. So unfortunately, we got a little bit unlucky here. However, we were able to get enough cans to just complete it and knock it out, though. So entering the barn there as well, that's something else to quick talk about. So after we find the location of all of the dig spots here for the cans, that seed storage gets held over if we enter the barn and leave the barn. So we're able to get those 5, enter the barn, and then leave the barn. Those cans will respawn with the same amount of cans in each of those dig spots that we were in prior. So, and more food mission.
Yeah, another food mission. So we didn't explain it when we were at the veggie patch earlier, but we grabbed 1 cabbage, 1 pumpkin, 1 carrot for Freddy here, and then we also grabbed 6 strawberries, which those are all for Pig, and actually 3 of them are actually for Freddy later, so I lied. But yeah, another food mission, so good stuff there. Luckily, we know what we're doing, so we don't have to waste time going to the veggie patch here. So, like I mentioned a lot earlier, we actually have a super jump incoming here. Hopefully I'm able to actually get the trick down. So what we did with JCSS was a fence super jump. This one, we're actually just able to get a lot of height off of 1 jump alone here. So hopefully, I did not get it. Okay, I got it there actually, ironically. But yeah, that is a movement tech that was found by a member in our Discord called Niaz. So shout out to him for finding a lot of the bike tech that is going to be utilized throughout this entire run, really.
Yeah, the original method we had used was either going the traditional route, hopping up on the little side shed over here, walking across that plank, or jumping up the ladder, or there is a much more inconsistent routing you can do where you hop on top of the trash cans to the side of the kitchen and spam jump next to the ladder, and if you get lucky, then you can clip up onto the ladder, but it's very inconsistent. So shout out to Naz for giving us some much more efficient movement options.
And as Randy was talking there, I actually did end up doing a super jump that got me a lot of momentum going down that barnyard ramp. So glad I got that at least once in this run, because it is a very inconsistent trick that we do.
Yeah. So like VVazzip was explaining earlier, the 2 control binds that we have to jump while on the bike are going to be both space and right control. And if you tap both of them together frame perfectly, you can get essentially a jump that is almost quadrupled in height to the normal jump sometimes. So it's can definitely save a lot of time throughout the run in being able to not only just hop over the sign or hop over objects, but also as well to store momentum and speed throughout your movement.
All right, and we have another Sharp Squirter mission here. Obviously, we're just honing in on our skills here. Not really much to say about this since we've already seen this twice, but obviously a different map, so the methods used to get these cans are actually pretty damn optimized, I must say. Over the past year, we've actually found a way to just make... Okay. Oh, we actually got the can. I'm surprised that worked. We actually found a way to make these missions very, very optimized, which, again, comes from Niaz, so shout out to him for doing that once again. He ended up just, like, condensing these splits down just so well.
Oh, yeah.
The ILs for these mini games has just completely changed.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where we're in the hundredths of seconds on the ILs, and it's just crazy to see the amount of progress and work that the community has put into making this optimal. That was actually a very good BD Farm Sharp Squirter, so great job there.
That was clean. That was pretty clean. I can't lie. I can't lie. That was like cleaner than I usually do it, so I'm happy about that. All right, and before I talked to Ben there, of course, I grabbed 3 cherries, which is going to be used for Freddy because he claims to be a fruitarian at some point. And once again, we have another very, very exciting mission coming here. I cannot wait to play this mission. It's so fun. We have another Veggie Patch defense, so yeah, man. Let's get hyped for this timed mission.
Yeah, this game pretty much runs off of the same template of reusing a lot of the mini games and missions throughout the run. So we're gonna have 5 different instances of bike races, 6 different instances of golf, which, oh boy, 6 instances of golf. It's an absolute joy.
I'm so excited.
We have, 5 instances of Joyride missions all throughout together, 2 Tease the Mailman style missions, 3 Veggie Patch Defenders, and 2 Chasing Chick style missions. So it is a lot of repetitive missions.
Yeah, it kind of makes this game pretty unique because it's very much an endurance thing rather than a skill thing. Honestly,
Absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong, skill is very much needed for these mini games, but my goodness, is there a lot of the same mission?
Yeah.
I did not mean to close that one. Oh well.
A lot of mental fortitude required for this game because when you get into the point where you're just doing the same thing over and over again, it can start to drive you crazy a little bit when it's not working out.
Yeah, especially the RNG in this game being like, I don't know, 2.5 hours into a run, and losing it to RNG is very much just a blow to the heart, really, to the ego, to the pride, to everything. It's just like, what did I do that run for, basically? But that's speedrunning for you, so you gotta love it, man. All right, so like I said, very exciting stuff here. We have Archie kind of just staring at the camera. This is one of my favorite things to do, is just have him just blank stare at you. And like I mentioned with the Veggie Patch defense, the second one is that these raccoons right here actually do not despawn. So we're just going to have a swarm of them by the end of this mission. We're just getting started here. This isn't even the most. But yeah, like we mentioned before, this is usually the part of the run where you go to the bathroom or grab a snack or grab water or something. So don't forget to hydrate, folks.
Absolutely stay hydrated. Also, too, while we have some time here quick to talk about it, shout out to Pace and all of the great donations that they're getting here for Urban Arts. Almost $40,000 raised so far. So amazing job, and thank you everybody for donating. They're going to be raffling off some awesome stuff over here. I see a PS5, a Nintendo Switch close to me. So if you guys want to help in donating to a great cause and have a chance to win some awesome gaming items, then absolutely put those donations in.
So as you can see, we have a pretty big swarm here. We're building up our army over here. But yeah, like Randy said, you just keep donating, guys. Keep donating, please.
With this being very early in the event and already seeing $39,500 there is no doubt in my mind that we're going to hit the $60,000 goal. We're probably going to surpass that within the next couple of days. So awesome to see all the great work that we're coming together as a community to do for our communities.
All right, after that very fun mission, we are now moving on to the first joyride, which thankfully, since we are having issues with the game audio, you do not have to turn down your audio for this, which normally the minigame blasts what would be described as like a noise jazz song. I'm not really sure like how to describe it really. It's very experimental to say it. Yeah, but this could be kind of compared to like the sandwich driving minigame from the SpongeBob movie game, but I would argue that these controls are a little better. That's just my bias, though.
MC Joyride time.
Good old references only you and I get.
And Birch.
Oh yeah, Birch would get it too. Yeah.
Can't forget Birch.
So yeah, very simple. Just WASD, drive as fast as you can. Not much else to say. This one I actually have optimized a good bit recently as well. I used to play it a lot more safe. Now I kind of just try to cut corners where I can because obviously we need to shave every second that we can. So this first turn I'm going to take a little safe just because I want to conserve my speed here. As you can see, we're going very fast in the bottom right here. I don't know how legal this is, but I'm not going to worry about it because I'm a cow. We're going to jump that trash can there. That is one of the optimizations that we've added recently where we just cut that corner there and we're able to just hover over that trash can.
Yeah, those trash cans can be a bit finicky and can launch you into random directions sometimes, and you can just pin your car into a tree or a pole like we did right there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I took that corner way too wide. Anyways, this is going to be the end of the mission, thankfully. So we have about 4 more of these. One of them is going to be pretty sucky, though. But when we get there, we will get there.
Also, shout out to the farmer's Lambo truck for being able to accelerate 200 kilometers in about 3 seconds.
It's pretty insane. In human speeds, really.
He's got a V12 under that thing.
All right. From here, we're gonna do another chicken launch minigame for Peck. This time, we are gonna take a slightly different route. Like I mentioned before, if the FPS was being finicky at this point, then we'd have a serious problem, and the game could possibly shoot us in a random direction, but thankfully we have good production here, good equipment, so we do not have to worry about that too much. And one funny thing about this minigame as well is that you're going to see at the bottom here, there's going to be a power bar. If you go into the plus side of the power bar, there's an animation where you and Peck both get launched into the stratosphere. It's pretty hilarious. That is my other favorite animation, aside from Pip on top of your head. Ooh, this mouse.
Oh. Yeah, you can see there's a little example there of how the game can get finicky, good recovery, and pretty lucky not to get launched into the side of a mountain there, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the ways that you can lose a very savable 30 seconds.
I mean, honestly, that was kind of just like a skill issue, but yeah, we're gonna blame the game. We're gonna blame the game.
Oh yeah, it's the game. It's always the game. It's never us.
It's never us. Another thing that I did actually forget to mention at the start of this run is that you can actually buffer a lot of your movement through the loading screens here. I don't know the next time we're going to be able to do it, and I'll be able to show it off, but for example, if I know where I'm going to be after a loading screen, then I will just simply hold down a direction on WASD and go in that direction. Another animation skip there as well. But that is definitely one of the things that a lot of runners do not take advantage of, is the buffering of movements. So yeah. So after the Gophers took over the golf course, the humans decided to put gopher traps, which is just kind of rude, to be honest. So we're going to take out 9 of these gopher traps because, of course, there's 9 holes. So we're going to do that for Otis and the Gophers. That way we can play golf again, because I'm just so excited to play golf again.
Oh yeah, we have to do everything possible to make sure we can golf.
If there's one thing Otis loves, it's golf, and you'll see why. You'll see why, or just how it takes his mind off of things in a bit here as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, so just a simple 9. We just do a nice little circle around the Izzy Springs golf course here. And then we simply go back to Otis. And we actually are gonna be coming up on another trick that I normally do not do in runs, but for the sake of flashiness and, you know, marathon stuff, we're gonna go for it. And I'll explain it as we get closer to it.
Ooh, I am excited for this.
Oh yeah, me too, man. I don't know about excitement. I'm more nervous than anything, but I am anticipating the outcome, that whatever it gives me. So the mission that we have coming up, basically Miles the mule, the lazy donkey from earlier, is having us collect 5 items for him. That way we can actually defend against these kids that are tipping over cows at nighttime, because obviously, you know, cows sleep standing up, apparently. And so we have to stop these kids from tipping these cows over. And how we do that is we shoot tomatoes at them. Mushy tomatoes, I should say. That way they don't get actually hurt. At least that's Miles' words. Miles and Ben's word.
More or less just a deterrent.
Yeah. All right. So we're actually getting some pretty good stamina saving jumps here too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Been pretty happy with those throughout the run. We're gonna hope that we get some speed. Oh, that
Got
was
a
nice.
lot of speed.
I kind of have to brake here because if I keep going, then I can fall off that bush. Not really a good bounce there. Sometimes you can actually get a bounce off of the rope there if you're going fast enough, but I kind of slowed down just because I wanted to make sure that I got it.
Yeah, the obtainable items for this mission and for another mission we're going to be doing later, where we're going to get some scrap items for Joey. They're pretty uniquely propertied items, so they have collisions if you're, or like a collision hitbox if you're going fast enough. In addition to, sometimes you can be going fast enough where the collision will be active, but you won't actually collect the item, which it can be quite annoying at times.
Very annoying. But one thing we did notice recently is that you can actually do like one of those super jumps, and if you're really high above the item, it collects it for you automatically. But moving on from that, we actually have one of the first clips that I'm going to go for in this run, called BD Farm Clip. This was one of the first time saves I found in this game, I want to say. Essentially, I am going to do a trick on the bike that bails me and throws me off the bike, and hopefully clips me into the corner properly. Hopefully I don't fall into the old mill here, because that would suck. Oh, and I missed an item, hold on. But we're going to go back into that back left corner there and hope that we get the trick. It looks like I got it first try. And we got it first try.
First try. Beautifully done, beautifully done.
Very inconsistent trick. It's insane that I actually got that first try.
That's gorgeous, man. Great job.
Kind of in disbelief right now. But yeah, that's it. It saves about like 3 seconds, I want to say, if you do it super optimally.
Which that's about as optimal as it gets.
Yeah, that was very good. That was really, really good. If only I didn't miss that last item, then this would probably beat my gold, honestly. But yeah, now we go back to Miles, and he collects our items, and then we will actually be doing the tomato defense mission upcoming in the following night. Next up here, we actually have the second bike race that we're going to be doing. This one is arguably one of the most difficult ones, simply because stamina usage in this one is just very, it's very hard. You can argue that maybe Bike Race 3 is a little tougher, but in my opinion, what you have to do in this one is just, oh, actually, no, Bike Race 3 has a really hard trick. But in terms of, like, stamina usage and no major tricks, like, this one definitely is one of the more difficult ones.
Oh, yeah, and like VVazzip was saying, it just all comes down to how you manage your stamina, and there are points, specifically coming up here, you'll see by the bend going up the hill, where if you don't conserve your stamina correctly, you basically have no speed trying to get up this hill, and it can be grueling to say the least.
But if we do it right, we can actually get a jump off the top of this ramp, which you've seen me do a couple times. Hopefully we get some movement, decent. Usually you can get like a crazy amount of momentum off that jump, but it's not super consistent.
Yeah, and it's just saving up that stamina, jumping off of the cliff there, if you will, at a very certain point, and then doing a precise series of jumps to preserve your momentum across the path.
Yeah, so the hardest part of this race was the part that we just got through, I'd say, Walnut Woods. So one thing I also forgot to mention for the bike is that we kind of have like a tapping. I don't know if you've been able to hear the keyboard through the mic.
Yes.
Yeah, you have, okay. So you've heard me tapping a lot, and that's just essentially me just tapping the sprint key as often as I can to conserve that stamina. Because it keeps your because there's a momentum mechanic in this game, we can kind of take advantage of that and just tap the stamina key rather than hold it down the entire time. Let's see if we get a good one here. That was pretty good. Not bad.
Oh, yeah.
Can't complain. And once again, usually you want, okay.
Oh.
haven't seen that before. That's the first. Usually around the start of Walnut Woods there, you want around like 3 bars of stamina. But you can get away with 2. I'm kind of not utilizing it the greatest at the moment, but still not too bad.
No, all things considered. Good bike race.
And once again, we're going to bail off the bike. That way we just get the animation that's usually there. And my right foot is really wanting to hit a split pedal that does not exist.
I was going to say, are you having the ghost splitter thing we were talking about? Because I saw your foot twitching a little bit up there. I told you last night that it was going to happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, I use a split pedal when I run this game, and my foot this entire run has really just like had the most itching feeling to like slam the floor. But thankfully, I've been able to fight it for the most part. There's no slamming, but like Randy mentioned, there's probably some twitching that happened. I'm not noticing it. I'm too focused on the yard, man.
That's just 6 years of built-up muscle memory, though.
Yeah.
It's very understandable that it would be happening.
All right, so the items that we grabbed for Miles is going to be put all together here. Before I get into that, actually, this is where we used to buy the bike, actually. But because it's out of our way, there's no real reason to do it. I think it loses around like 25 seconds. That's if you don't buy the bike at all. I think it saves around like 10 or 15 if you buy it later on. Okay. But this minigame is, tomato defense is really RNG dependent. I actually got like a 17-second gold on it like this past week. Yeah, because I think that's when I got PB, if I'm not mistaken. Really RNG dependent. So basically, you have your regular tomatoes that usually takes 3 hits to deter a boy, 2 hits to deter a girl, and then we have basically Snotty Boy, not actually him though, and those kids take about 5 hits. But you have different You have different variants of these tomatoes. The best one arguably being Super Tomato, which I did not really think was the best one up until recently, because it's actually what saved me a lot of time. Okay, this is acting weird right now. But Mega Tomato, the one we have now, is a one-shot for these kids. So this one is my favorite, but Super Tomato is also really good since it's basically an aimbot. So we'll probably get one of those in just a second here.
Was a Super Tomato hater for the longest time.
I just didn't like it, man. I don't know what else to say. I used to think that the spawns would get like all messed up because of it, but I think it's just the game acting weird in terms of spawns. Another thing that I'm doing that you've probably noticed is that I'm spamming the spacebar after I finish a clip of the tomatoes. And that's actually a reload animation canceled, again, found by Party Turtle, aka Faced Khilpad. It basically just makes it so you don't have to sit through the animation. And we got a Super Tomato, that's pretty good. So long as one spawns up there, which we did, so we are doing good. Eventually.
Oh, whoa! I have never seen what just happened there. That's different.
As a Twitch streamer would say, clip that.
Yeah, that is a
gosh.
clip, and that's whoa. So that
We might be on PB Pace, possibly.
I
because of
don't
that.
even know what just happened there, but I like what just happened there.
Okay, gaming guy just told me I'm 2 minutes behind, so never mind. Yeah, I've never seen that before. That is the first time that has ever happened, and that is the glorious thing about speedrunning this game, is that a new thing happens every time you run it. And for something like that to happen in a marathon setting, especially after I got BD Farm Clip, I mean, my goodness, this run, based off the things we've seen already, is just...
This is one for the books. Like, this is, wow, man,
That was something.
I wonder if we're going to be able to recreate that.
No. I'm already going to tell you no. That was complete luck.
That was crazy.
Wow. That was insane.
So, yeah, ordinarily, I'm just still kind of in shock,
Yeah.
but ordinarily, you would go through 5-hour cycles of, just deterring these kids from tipping over the cows.
Thank you.
Yeah, what happened there was apparently the Super Tomato spawned in, or was at a perfect point to where the last wave of kids was spawning in, eliminated them all simultaneously, and it also looked like it spawned in every single gopher that can spawn there to give you a power-up enhancement at the same time. That's
Yeah.
very strange.
As Randy was explaining that, I was doing a quick little trick called Joyride 2 skip. Basically, we just drive out of bounds, and there's a checkpoint here that ends the game. So the mini game. So yeah, that saves around, I want to say 10 to 20 seconds or so.
Very recent discovery in the life of the game.
Actually, that was found like 4 years ago.
Was it?
I
No,
wanna-
shot 4 years ago.
I want to say around the time you joined, yeah. Yeah, that one, I remember that was what sparked the Joyride 3 Joyride 3 skip find, which I'm not gonna attempt in this, unfortunately, because that trick is just very inconsistent. But yeah, that one saves around like 50. No, not 50. I want to say 30 seconds on average.
Yeah, the consequence of failing it, though, which we have not found any sort of inconsistent setup yet, the consequence of failing it is about 2.5 minutes of time loss. So it is one of those tricks to where if you are trying to recover a run, it can be a saving grace of a trick, where if a run was ordinarily just supposed to be a dead run, it can revive a run back to life, which has happened before with some of VVazzip's runs, but yeah, it's a very, very low percentage chance of working out, so it's a very,
It's a Hail Mary.
Yeah, absolutely, it is a Hail Mary.
And right, coming up here, we have another Sharp Squirter, the longest one that we're going to do in this run. This is the second to last one. Ironically, the last one that we do is the shortest, so good game design. But yeah, this one especially has found so much optimization. Just based off the routing that Meekmos, the second place world record holder, but the second place runner found or optimized himself. So shout out to Meekmos as well.
Yes.
I missed a can, I just realized.
Ooh.
I'm glad I noticed.
Yeah, at least it's not too bad of a spot. Yeah, this was one of the instances of the game, though, that we've really trying to hone in on optimizing for a long time. The routing was just kind of wing it and do what you want to do. But, you know, as the game has progressed and gotten more optimized, we really have tried to find consistent routing and finding things that are the most efficient when it comes to this, because there's just a lot to do in this sharp squirter. And, yeah, we just didn't have a method that was very consistent and kind of community agreed upon for a while. But
Who would have thought that putting thought into something would yield results?
yeah, well, I don't use my brain, so that's the issue.
Yeah, me and you both. I'm barn-brained, but I'm not that barn-brained.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was not a lot of discourse, but a lot of discussion for a while on what the optimal way to do this mini game was, and even still, I still mess up the routing mainly just because I'm a stubborn old man and I refuse to learn what the new kids are doing. But
Gramps.
exactly, will get me back to the nursing home soon. But
He's off his meds. Okay, and once again, we are going to leave this minigame early, so sweet, more time save. We love that. That was not my best. Clearly, I missed a can there. Normally, I would not miss that, but I got lost in Brandy's velvety voice, so.
oh, you're too kind.
Coming up here, we do have 2 more food missions, so yay food missions. This game just loves food. Hopefully we get good pig voice lines, even though we have 0 game audio, which we can determine based off of when the birthday cake and the exiting fade to black starts, basically.
Yeah, I believe that there are 4 different voice lines for each part of both entering and leaving the kitchen. One of them for each is phenomenally fast. One of them for each is decently fast, and the other 2 are painstakingly slow.
Oh yeah. So 3 cherries, 3 strawberries, 3 apples. Because he's a fruitarian, is what he says. So.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. He's definitely not going to want to eat Peck again, I'm sure.
Oh, surely. Surely there won't be an absolute cursed part of this game that gave me uncontrollable nightmares as a child.
And Gaming Guy is providing the voice lines behind me. So
Great color commentary from Gaming Guy here.
Party on? Oh, we got Party on.
We got
There
Party
go.
on.
I
Let's
couldn't
go.
hear it, but I could tell.
Woo!
Party on.
And this is probably one of the most wholesome parts of the game right here. It's the farmer's birthday, and we decide to make him a cake and leave it at his doorstep because ordinarily his birthday would be forgotten. But we're being very kind to the farmer, who happens to be a vegetarian. So
Shout out the farmer.
that's why we are so kind to him.
Yeah, and actually the Wii version of this game has a cutscene of him like seeing the cake, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
The Wii version definitely fleshed out the ideas of this game a lot more than the PC version, or the other versions did, I should say. It added voice lines throughout the open world aspect of the game from a lot of the characters, as well as making the textures just look better all around.
Oh,
Pig,
yeah.
Pig has mud on himself. that's one of the funny quirks. And then another thing is just different animations, as well as more songs in the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely a more complete port of the game, which is it's so cool to see.
It's actually a launch title for the Wii.
Yeah, it was. I
Fun
actually
fact.
forgot. It was a 2006 launch title, which it's crazy that some funny licensed game ended up coming out with one of the most, if not the most iconic consoles of the 2000s.
Absolutely. So the reason we talked to Ben there is that he's just like, stop buying stuff from the Gopher Underground, but we're not going to listen to him, of course, because that's not what we do.
Stop.
As Otis says, defy authority. So we're going to do that and buy the bike later on, not just yet.
Stop buying stuff from the Gopher Underground, but there are also flower patches around that happen to have gold buried in them, so if you want to use those to buy things from the Gopher Underground, then I can't stop you.
Yeah, that is one of the things he mentions, is that you can get your money back through these flowers called treasure bells. You use the metal detector to dig up the coins that you use, but you don't even have to use any coins, so you can kind of just get free money.
Yeah, the 100% iteration of the game, that is one of the main ways that we end up farming coins so we can buy all of the items for the night barn.
All right, and as we're currently doing, we have the another golf minigame, but now we have the back nine instead of the front nine. This one is very much, not very much, but it has definitely a lot more luck than the first one. The first one is definitely a lot more skill, but this one has a couple of tricks, one that we're about to do right now. Basically,
cool
we're going to throw the ball in this corner over here, it doesn't really matter where, and we're just going to throw it through the fence.
And first try, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, I get that first try like almost every time at this point. Very easy trick once you get the fundamentals down.
Yeah, it looks flashy, but overall, you can get it quite consistently with a little bit of practice.
And a very uncharacteristic thing of me to miss the arrow there.
Thankfully, this hole is one of the more forgiving ones if you do miss an arrow.
Oh yeah. Can't say that for all.
Oh no, you'll see that there are going to be some very fun holes
Please don't give me the bounce. Okay, sweet.
that Otis has prepared for us.
And
on
is that
our
going to go
features.
in? No, it's not.
Ooh.
Sometimes you can get lucky enough to where the ball can go straight in through the pipe. Not going to happen every time, of course, but
There's also an instance as well with this hole in particular where the actual threshold to where the ball enters can be met without the ball actually entering the hole, and you can get the hole complete animation without the ball actually sinking. It's happened to me twice now, I believe.
yeah. Right, good throws. This one, you kind of just have to know the angles of the wood planks that are sitting there. This next hole is notorious for either saving a lot of time or losing a lot of time. And
Yeah.
that is because of the chance of getting a hole-in-one, which we got unlucky RNG, but we can still maybe get a birdie here.
Yeah, there is a backup chance that we
Might
can have
work.
here.
I don't know. It's this hole, you never know if it's going to go in or not, and that's definitely not going to go in.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate. We do have 2 more opportunities later in the run.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully we'll get to showcase that because
Yeah.
It is a pretty cool hole-in-one to get.
I
But,
was able to get it in practice, luckily.
yeah, first try in practice.
It didn't even look like it was going to work either. So, that's just a testament to how golf works in this game. And once again, we're getting this weird hole glitch on the screen. This does not happen normally, but of course, with this game, anything's possible.
Doing all the cool stuff in marathons.
Yeah. Don't bounce back. Okay. This one is pretty straightforward. You kind of just have to bounce the ball through the ramps here. Another weird mechanic is that you can actually pick up the ball right after you threw it if you're moving in the direction of the ball, which, okay.
Oh,
I knew that was off, and I still threw it. Which loses, I don't know, a second or two. You don't want it to happen. I get very annoyed when it happens because it doesn't make any sense, but that's this game. That's just how it works. All right. This hole that we're coming up on, hole 16, was actually optimized a lot recently by the runner Erratix, who is probably in chat right now.
let's check
Basically,
this out.
we throw the ball over here, throw the ball on this side of the ramp, and it should just bounce straight through. Okay, sweet deal. We aim straight to the right, throw it full power, and that's just the hole done very consistently. What used to be kind of just hoping for some good bounces has now become just, you don't even have to think about it. Very easy setups that just make this hole very consistent. And the next hole coming up is actually my baby, basically. I want to say around 6 years ago, I found a trick that basically skips the entire course that you're looking at right now. And how we do that is we set up right here, throw the ball, that's not it. We throw it into that little pocket, and we just catch it on the other side. And
Yeah.
that's the entire trick.
very cool trick. It's a very consistent setup as well, thankfully.
Oh, yeah.
One of those things, again, like hole 11, where if you just put in a solid hour of practice, you'll be able to get it fairly consistently. However, the trade-off is more than worth it because without that, it'd be about a minute and 15 seconds worth of time loss.
I think back in the day I said it was like a 2.5 minute time loss with all the holes combined. So,
Oh yeah.
if your skills are not that great with it, please go in. Okay. If your skills are not that great, then you will, suffer. That is not a good angle. Usually you're able to throw the ball like straight to the loop here, and then it kind of just bounces through. But we recovered fairly well. Yeah, the hole 18 can act really weird sometimes.
And this is a good hole 18, all things considered.
Oh yeah, definitely. Cannot complain about it. Please.
Ooh,
Oh no,
no,
we're not
no.
gonna get lucky. Sometimes you can throw it all the way into the hole from all the way back there, but it is not
Overall,
consistent.
very clean golf, though.
Yeah, can't complain. All right. So yet again, we have another very, very fun mission incoming here.
Oh, yeah.
Another timed mission where we can't really do a lot. So we're just gonna hope that you guys enjoy the weird ambiance of this one, because at least it is a little different. And I'll explain what the mission is about once we get closer to it. Just see. Okay. So basically, as we have seen, Freddy the ferret has been very, very hungry this entire game. We brought him all those fruit, we brought him vegetables, but it seems as though he still has a desire to eat his best friend Peck. Which is like, really? I mean, I understand, chicken's good, but it's not good for your friendship if you want to eat your friend. So we're gonna actually just enter his mind right now. Yeah, for some reason we are entering someone's mind in this game. I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, this mini game was a little bit of nightmare fuel for me growing up. In addition to, it's just kind of an absolute fever dream. But
Oh, yeah. One thing with the audio in this one is that Freddy has voice lines in it, and they play all at once when he spawns in. It's very weird. So as you can see, he's sleeping. Where the hell are we?
The sky has turned red, and even Freddy has turned red here, and he's turned himself
What?
into little mini devils.
It's so weird. Oh man, we have Gaming Guy doing the voice lines for it as well.
Oh yes, more color commentary from
No,
Gaming Guy. I love to hear it.
Glorious stuff, must say. All right, and another thing that I don't know if it was found by someone else, but you can actually just squirt them through this fence here, which is kind of funny. I found that like randomly. I don't know if someone else found it or not, is the only thing. So I don't want to claim it, but I found it basically. But it's just a faster way to, get through these waves. Not really faster, but
Just more convenient.
yeah, more convenient. That's a good way of putting it.
Collision for movement, but not for projectiles, which is kind of odd in the way that works. But yeah, another auto scroller though, a common theme throughout this game.
Unfortunately, we are basically halfway through them though at this point. So
Yes.
at the very least, we don't have to deal with them much longer.
One thing I would like to mention now that we do have an auto scroller in a little bit of time, if anyone is interested in running this game or joining our community, please check out our page, Barnyard the Game, on speedrun.com. There's a link there to get into our community Discord. In addition, we have some great guides and resources to getting into this game. We love seeing all the new people that have joined the community, and we would love for some of you guys to come in and check our game out. We have a really, really great group of people here, and we're more than willing to help out anybody who wants to get into this game and learn that.
Absolutely. And the record is free. Wink, wink. Just go for it, guys.
Yeah, free. Free,
Grab
that's a word for it.
Grab it. Just put in 6 years of work, and then you can get it.
You too can get sub 3.
No, sub 3 is very doable. You just have to put in the time into this game, which unfortunately, the 3-hour mark is very intimidating. But if you have the time, if you want to put in the effort, then it is a very rewarding speed game. But yeah, the guide that we do have currently is just a Google Doc It was made by one of the mods in the Discord named Blubs. He made it. He wasn't very familiar with the run in general, though, so I actually went and revised the entire thing. That way, it's much easier to follow along. So, if you want to, run this game, then that would be the guide to follow.
Absolutely, yeah. And two, we have both VVazzip, myself, and a lot of the other amazing runners that we have in the community as open resources. We check our DMs and answer them pretty regularly, so if you do have any questions on the game, we are more than happy to help anybody who wants to get into our community.
Absolutely.
And more dancing.
Yeah, the utter physics are definitely a little interesting. On this
Interesting is a great word for it. I like that.
Yeah. All right. So just like the start of the run, we have a second mud jumpers incoming here. We will be doing the alt tab method yet again, which unfortunately does not come cleanly through the stream. But I promise you that I am playing the game. It just might not look like it. All right, and the reason that we are doing mud jumpers again is actually because Daisy is doing a charity event for Everett the dog here. He is turning 13. Happy birthday, Everett. And basically, we need 1,000 gopher bucks to send him off on a very good cruise. So we are going to play a bunch of mini games that now have a bunch of coins in them, rather than the original variants that do not have coins.
And once again, we're going to see a little bit of black screen here because of the alt tabbing. Ordinarily, when streaming the game, you're able to completely see what's going on. The alt tabbing is pretty efficient. However,
hold on.
There we go.
No leaking. No. Okay. Yeah, sometimes the alt tabbing can be a little finicky because, 2006 game, not really optimized for the computer, is not going to act the way you want it to. But we got through it. Not too bad.
And when you start messing with the frame rate of this game, it likes to do some really, really funny things. So.
Oh, yeah. We've learned that the hard way. All right, next up we have a chicken launch minigame. This one is basically the second one, just with coins. For some weird reason, they made it an odd number, so there's 241 that you can collect in this one, and that's it. No. Oh, hi Ben. We're gonna look at his clipboard.
All right, clip through the clipboard.
Yeah. The toast.
The
yeah,
toaster.
the piece of toast. No super jump there, unfortunately. But yeah, for some reason they made it 241 coin count. They could have made it at least a clean 240, but whatever. Whatever, man. I didn't make this game. I'm blaming Banana Boy.
Yes, Banana Boy is the only one to blame. The sole weight of the Barnyard world bears upon this man's shoulders.
I'm sure he did all the coins.
Oh, absolutely.
We just gotta blame someone, But yeah, since I'm not using my usual setup, the mouse movement is gonna be a little weird looking, but we are getting through it. It's getting all weird. It's even worse on a console as well. That was. I know you took a deep breath there, yeah, console version, it's very janky controls. So we got 231, so we missed 10 coins, I guess. Back to what I was saying. And now we actually have the most notorious bike race skip in the game.
Yeah, this one's cool. I love this one.
Basically, if you remember JCSS, the fence super jump we did at the very start of the run, we're doing another variant of that, but we're hoping that we can actually skip a little part in the bike race that we're going to be a part of in a moment here. Essentially, we jump really high and up and out of bounds, and we're able to just ride into the Walnut Woods unaffected, hopefully. Sometimes, for some reason, the out of bounds in this game does have tree collisions that can send you off your bike, so we're just going to hope that doesn't happen, which I'm probably going to take it slow if I'm able to actually get the trick itself. Which, if I'm able to get one of them, I'll be happy.
Yeah, the collision spots in there can be a little bit jank to say the least. However, it is pretty cool when it is pulled off. So I'm hoping that we're gonna get to see it.
Take your time to get off the bike, Archie. It's fine.
Bud just sitting there, just chilling.
All right, and this one was also found by Niaz. So shout out to Niaz for that as well. Yeah, I've grown to dislike this one very, very much. Okay, so jump here. Gonna lean back on the bike and do a bunch of jumping. This should work so long as I don't fall off. And we did it once.
And
Oh, okay,
beautiful.
it works. Okay,
All
it's
right.
fine. I got very scared for a second because
Little scuffed. But
sometimes it doesn't count your checkpoint there.
thankfully, it did that time. But
Oh, jeez, this game. But yeah, that's essentially the entire trick. It's a lot cleaner if you're able to just jump through the out of bounds back into the playable area just cleanly. So, yeah.
can be a little hard though because there's some funky collision spots in there. It is essentially a blind jump through out of bounds, and sometimes you collide, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, like you said, the collision's very funky, so you just have to hope that sometimes the game just acts in favor of you. I mean, for example, the BD farm clip I did earlier, like that was just praying that the game was going to give it to me more than anything.
Thankfully, it did because that's a very cool trick to show off.
Okay, well, I could have not bailed off the bike and probably landed on the ramp, but that's okay. We got it once, and that's all that matters.
The nice thing is at least if you do fail that jump, if you can hit the checkpoint up top, it's pseudo backup where
Oh, yeah.
you're losing a little bit of time, but it's not the worst case scenario.
Yeah, one of the runners on the boards named Tark, he was actually able to get a regular super jump up on top of the ramp, like all three. We have another instance where we're going to do that trick again later in the run, and he got it all 3 times. And it's just like, I was just impressed because super jumping in this game can just be really weird sometimes. It can sometimes work every time you do it, and then, you know, typical speedrunning stuff, you some days you have it, some days you don't.
Yeah, it's one of the only quote-unquote frame-perfect tricks we have in this run, and even with that, even if you happen to hit it correctly on frame 1, sometimes it just doesn't want to work. But what are you going to expect from a licensed video game from 2006?
And coming up here, we do have the final sharp squirter, which, like I mentioned earlier, okay, these guys are just in weird formation here. It is the shortest one, which is just weird that we're ending on a short one, but it is the charity one after all. Hopefully I'm able to get the 3 squirt can start that I usually do. 3 can squirt, I guess. I don't know how I would say it. But it's something that I've practiced a lot, and I'm not able to get super consistent, so hopefully we're able to get it here. And then after this one, we're going to do golf yet again, so get ready for more golf, folks. Yeah, I'd say in terms of IL, this mission lasts, I don't even know, 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a very, very quick one. There's a lot of cans that are actually on the in the barnyard, but they're all in a very condensed area.
Okay, we were able to get it. That's good. Sweet.
Oh yeah,
Really,
this is
really
clean. That is clean.
That might have beat my gold, honestly. Yeah, and like we've been doing the entire time, we were able to just leave the mission right away after we squirt the last can. So weirdly enough, the exclamation point kind of disappears, and Everett is just gone. But we're gonna talk to Daisy here. She tells us that we have one more mission to do, and that is gonna be the golf. Hopefully, we're able to get this super jump here. Nope. I knew right off the bat I was gonna get it. Oh well. But yeah, this is going to be the front 9 golf, just with a bunch of coins scattered around the entire thing. So let's just hope that we are able to be skillful here.
officially marking the halfway point of where golf is done.
Golf 2 signifies the halfway point of the run in general. That and like Freddy's Dream, like the in-between of those two is kind of the halfway point of this run. This one is the halfway point of golf, which is, that's quite a accomplishment at this point.
Oh, yeah, having to do this 6 times. The next golf we're going to see after this is the longest of all 6 instances of golf, and that's because an event happens that makes Otis want to play all 18 holes.
I'm getting sad already.
I know.
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's sad. Ah, crap. Yeah, one of the main things about the front 9 that has been optimized is the just the amount of throws that it takes to complete these holes. Especially this one, the hole-in-one on this one, I was not able to get for a long time, and I don't have it now either. Yeah, I want to say Erratics really opened my eyes to the amount of time saved that there is in each golf, especially the back 9. I mean, that one is, the time save on that is infinite, I feel like. You just have to get really, really lucky.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of the front 9, it's already super optimized, so after he found some optimizations in the back 9, I felt the need to try to find ways to cut corners. This whole 4, I was able to actually find some consistent setup there where you can complete it in 2 throws, but it seems like my golf is just a little off right now. This one as well, if I'm able to hopefully get good enough speed, okay. If it went just a tiny bit more, then it probably would have went in the hole there off the first throw. This is another RNG hole where basically sometimes you can throw it straight up and it'll just, the gopher in the grass will be able to just throw the ball straight into the hole, but it does not happen every time. So, yeah.
Overall, though, pretty rinse and repeat mission. Very common theme throughout the game. A lot of just rinsing and repeating.
Yeah. Unfortunately. But that's what makes this game unique.
Oh, yeah.
At the very least, they add some variant to each of the golf, so it's a little different, I guess.
Yeah, not a true repeat. The next instance of golf we're gonna see, not golf 4, but golf 5 and golf 6, which is gonna be the front 9 and then the back 9 separate respectively. You are going to have a limit on the amount of strokes you take per hole, which on the front 9 isn't much of a challenge at all, but on the back 9 there are a couple holes where you start to sweat a little bit.
Definitely hole 18.
Yeah, hole 18
is the one that comes to mind instantly.
They didn't really give you a lot of room to work with on hole 18.
I make it look easy, but I can promise you it's come with a lot of practice.
Oh yeah, I have in a couple of runs dropped golf 6 to hole 18.
Oh yeah, you had that soft lock on it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen. That should go straight in. That was a pretty clean hole 9.
Oh yeah.
All things considered, and the game just wants to show you what hole we're on throughout the entire thing. So. But we are officially halfway through with the golfs. So, yeah. And this will actually be the end of Chapter 3, finally. I know it's been a long time since we've actually seen any cutscenes in this game. Not just yet. We have to talk to Daisy, give her 1,000 coins for Everett's going away. And then that will be the end of Coyote Season, which is really the most difficult chapter in the game because it spans an hour long. And there's just so much that could happen in it. You never know.
Yeah, there's definitely a few landmine points throughout Coyote Season that can really make or break a run, and it's kind of been a common meme, if you will, to where you go up and down with Coyote Season, and somehow, despite all of the up and down, you either end up 30 seconds ahead or 30 seconds behind.
Yeah.
There's pretty much no in between. Like I said, common theme throughout the game. It's pretty polarizing in that regard.
It's pretty hilarious. We like to joke and say that this is nothing happened in Coyote Season.
Yeah, despite it being the longest portion of the game. Nothing
happened at all. All right, now we are actually on to one of the shortest chapters. We have a couple chapters that are just one mission long. Uh, just one mission long. In this one, we're actually going to be doing, I don't know how many people remember the minigame, what is it? Tapper? Is that the name of it?
I am not sure.
Okay, well, Randy doesn't know.
Typical, I'm clueless.
Where basically you're a bartender throwing drinks at patrons, and for this one, you just need 50 points to complete, so we're going to complete it as fast as we can, of course. Was Bud doing a T-pose? I think I might have saw that. Yeah, I think the name is called Tapper, if I'm not mistaken. I should have done my research, but that's okay. But we finished the first one that quickly. And then the second one, we're gonna just press the F key 7 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that is the end of the minigame. Woo! Oh, and this minigame, obviously we do not have audio, but it will blast your eardrums with the audio. For some reason, it's louder than the Joyrides even. Like, I don't know. It's for some reason the developers just like made the song really loud. So that is the end of chapter 4, just like that. Coyote attack. Oh no.
Oh no, what's gonna happen?
Oh no.
I'm gonna let it play. I don't care. Ben fought those coyotes off like a strong man defending others. But it took every last bit of his strength. No, don't tell me.
Oh no. Oh no.
No.
No, Ben. Oh, no, Ben.
We lost Ben.
A good cow. So that is usually we obviously skip the cutscene, but you know, to give context to what happened, rest in peace Ben. He is now gone.
10 seconds of time lost for a lifetime of mourning.
Rest in peace Ben.
If you miss world record by 9 seconds, I'm never forgiving you.
I'll forgive myself. I think we're about 2 minutes off anyways, so whatever.
52 seconds.
What'd you say?
A
Minute
minute
52. Hey, that's not too bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
That's pretty good. Okay, so now we need to pick up 10 bluebells because that is Ben's favorite flower. So just another a bunch of animation skips. Can you get on the bike? Yeah, we're gonna place these on his grave because you know we need Ben to feel better in the afterlife, I guess. It's mainly for Otis because right now he's actually sulking at the top of Ben's Hill, which you know it's very clear why.
So we're gonna see.
Okay, that was
Despite this being a sad point in the game, we're gonna see probably one of the funniest animation things to happen in the game right here.
Let's see if I could. Oh, I got the super jumps.
Hey.
I lost my stamina, so thank you. Yeah, that was actually kind of sick.
Yeah.
So obviously Otis is sulking right here. Daisy's telling us, could you get flowers for him? Put it on his grave. So we're gonna do that really quick. Way ahead of you.
And we're gonna see Otis
Flowers.
perk up and then immediate
Back to
depression.
sadness. Poor guy. Oh, hello Archie. Okay. Now we are actually going to round up the chicks, Maddie and the chicks, I should say. They're going to do a little song for Otis to make him feel a little better. Odie's sad, yeah. And this one, you're gonna see me do the animation that I should have been doing for the hide and seek minigame. But for this mission, it doesn't really matter if you do the animation or not. So we're just gonna do it because it saves time. The most optimal way to do this mission, basically, is you're in the text box area for these chicks. And you just instantly hop off the bike and it like instantly starts the dialogue. So we're gonna hope that we can get that for every single one of these, but it's not very likely. Almost ran into that fella.
Oh yeah, and the chicks have massive collision boxes for no reason whatsoever, and you can absolutely biff it off the bike if you run into one.
Completely. The one that I just talked to, I've fallen off at least twice in really good runs, and that's just because I completely forgot that they're there. Because obviously your cow is so big compared to their size, so sometimes you kind of just block the view of the chicks. And that's what's happened to me. Let's hope that I could get this. Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Just like that. Sometimes they just do that.
They just kind of want to go where they
Oh,
please.
that was wonky. All right, we're 3 for 3 right now, though. Let's hope that we can finish off strong here at the very least. Because I definitely lost time to watching Ben die. But we're not going for a world record. We're going for just a decent run right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things about world record is that it is a serious grind at this point for me.
Absolutely. it
So
is.
much luck has to go into it. I have to play just out of my mind in certain areas. Yeah, there's about like a minute or actually that was previously. I want to say there's about like a minute of time save in the like last 5 missions. Nah, maybe a little more than that. I want to say last 8 missions,
Yeah.
which is not like the time span of those missions is not a lot. So it's pretty notable.
Which that and starting off the run as well with a 1430 pool or 1440, whatever it was that you had gotten. Pretty much you're immediately starting the run at a minute deficit anyway, so it's a game that you have to be able to be comfortable running in the red because a lot of your time save is going to be condensed down to the end of the game, which is unfortunate because you're going to have a lot of runs that just come to nothing and it's going to be 2 hours and 30 minutes of
Pain.
attempts. Yeah, pain. But 'tis the nature with speedrunning, and more so in this game with it being a longer game. Yeah, it's just one of those runs that you really have to stick with.
All right, another short chapter. Otis is back in business. But before he gets back to business, we have to do just a lot of golf. A lot of golf. So if you thought the last 3 were long enough, get ready to do the front 9 and the back 9 back to back.
Oh yeah, the best part of the whole game right here.
Golf 4, as it's considered, is one of the more inconsistent golfs that we've had to deal with in general. For a long time, the segment split was not, you weren't able to get like a sub 10-minute time on it for a long time, but now it's pretty consistent that we get those, which I'm very thankful for, but that still does not mean that is easy to get either. So,
Oh yeah.
but basically the reason that we're doing it is because Otis is sad, and he's like, well, I'm sad, let me play 18 holes of golf and make you suffer for it as well. So we're going to do that. No better way to grieve than a bunch of gopher golf. Back to the fun.
More golf fun.
But yeah, we are very fortunate to have the people that have actually optimized the golf down to the point that it is now. Again, Erratic's like a huge help in making it super optimized, as well as the 2 tricks on hole 11 and hole 17, just making it just much more manageable. That was actually the best hole 2 I've had so far. I feel like this is going to be a good golf.
Oh yeah.
Surely.
Hopefully we get to see the whole 14 hole in one.
Oh yeah. That would be everything, really.
That would be, yeah. There's
More power, that would have done it.
kind of a list of things that VVazzip and I were kind of compiling as things that we would like to see shown off with this run for you guys here during this marathon, and pretty much the only line item that we have left on the list is to hit that whole 14 hole in one, so I'm hoping that we can see it either here or in Golf 6.
Definitely.
Hopefully in both.
Hopefully both. That would be a lot of time save.
No, absolutely it would be.
Yeah, another one of those things that Randy was talking about, one of the things that I want to be able to perform myself are the super jumps that I've been going for this entire time. There's a mission right after this one that I do want to be able to do a certain routing for just perfect. They would be, that would just really just make it great. And there's another trick, a risky trick that I'm going to be adding to that routing as well. So hopefully we're able to get that all in one try. If not, I will take 2 to 3 tries. And if not, I hope it works. But Meekmos is a huge part of that routing, and I'll talk more about it when we get there.
Oh yeah, it's been a point of revision several times throughout the.
I had to go for it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna actually come back this way anyways, so that's
No,
fine.
we'll take it.
Whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, as VVazzip was talking about, the point of the game we're about to be coming up on has been a major point of revision throughout the run. It's gone through a bunch of different iterations of how we route it, from everything of buying the bike at this point now, all the way up to how we actually route the mission itself and just using some optimal movement at the same time. Another whole 8-hole-in-1, beautifully done.
I don't know about hole in one, but yeah, that was really well
Yeah,
done.
yeah, that was close enough.
There, you can actually get a hole in one on that hole. You just have to mess up on the first tee off with the cow. But it is very risky, and if you mess it up, you lose probably 15 seconds.
Oh yeah.
If not more. And my hole nines, at least on that first initial throw, have not been great today, but it is what it is. All right, that is the first 9 holes done. I was gonna say halfway point, but it's really not.
No.
We're not. That's like, I don't know, a third done.
Yeah, the back 9 takes disproportionately longer than the front 9 does, just due to the wacky nature of some of the holes Otis has cooked up for us to endure.
Yeah, especially this one. This one is really just, I mean, as you can see, very luck dependent.
Yeah.
You have to hope that the ball is just going to bounce off of certain objects certain ways, and it's all just going to come together.
Fortunately, you haven't had to deal with the ball not going into the pool
Yeah.
off of, because sometimes you can get unlucky with the ball bouncing off of some of the quote-unquote fun objects that are placed around the pool.
Surprised that that clip worked, honestly.
I did not think that clip was as forgiving as it truly is when I first had learned it, but when you use the setups that we've labbed out, it's it's a way more impressive looking trick than what the tech actually required to do it is.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's not going to work. You made the sound, but I knew it wasn't going to.
You gotta make it a sweat, man. You gotta make it fun.
You gotta. Hopefully we're able to get it on hole 6, golf 6, if anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this one you're actually able to complete in 2 throws. Doesn't happen very often, but
Yeah, very rare to see 2 throws. You kind of just, once again, it's one of those things where you can lab out the angles, but you got to get pretty lucky.
it's a lot of luck that needs to go your way, but it is also skill at the same time. All right, so like we mentioned, hopefully we're able to get this hole in one on this hole.
Yeah, so when you do a perfect time throw, there's one of 2 ways the ball can go. To the left, which is the optimal setup right now, and then there's also to the right, which is what we had to use the backup for.
That
right
might
there.
work.
This may work, yes.
I think that's
hopefully.
enough speed. And that worked.
Hey,
There we
beautiful.
go.
There it is.
Very hard to get that consistent. I've tried to make some setup of it, but it's just very finicky, as this game is.
And now all we need is Joyride 3 skip, and this run will be complete.
I'm going to actually let that roll.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing.
That was beautiful. That is exactly, I mean, this was the best hole 15 I've ever had.
This whole 2 has been a point of contention, to put it lightly, within your last couple of runs. So seeing it run so smoothly, especially in a marathon setting, is very nice.
I
to
mean,
see.
a hole 14, hole in one, and then that hole 15 going the way it did, it's just beautiful. Am I going to get the good RNG? No, I'm not. I was going to say, if they could give me the good hole 16 RNG, then that would be something.
Oh yeah, that would have probably, if
I would have cried.
if you would have gotten that RNG plus 2, just an optimal hole 18 contention for an IL gold.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No. Sometimes it goes over, sometimes it doesn't. Usually you have to be a little closer. There's the RNG that I was talking about there, it sets it up in a way that there's a certain angle you can throw that has it so the ball is like a little closer to the initial, I don't even know, the third ramp, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain without the visual.
Yeah, or you can do what I did and completely mess it up. Just launch and send the ball and Hail Mary make it from halfway across the map.
Oh yeah, you did do that. I completely forgot about that.
That's probably one of the highlights of my speedrunning career,
Oh,
both in this game and also just clip wise. My reaction to that was absolutely priceless.
Yeah, so we did that whole 17 clip again. Once again, I'm so proud that I was able to find that so long ago. It's I think that's what really sparked a lot of the other tricks being found in this game. So.
Oh yeah, it's an iconic clip. It was like one of the first real quote unquote like glitches or major time saves that was found for the run. So it's cool to see something that was found so long ago still be like a major point of time save throughout the run. And as we were talking about earlier, hole 18 has some jank to it, and here is an example of that jank in play.
That was more of my fault than anything. I could have gotten it through the loop the first time, but regardless, we still got through it pretty cleanly.
Oh yeah.
This might actually be just a really, really good golf 4.
I was going to say this is a very clean golf 4, so great job on that. That's
Thank you.
close to contention for gold.
Definitely. I mean, just getting that hole 14 hole-in-one is really just what seals the deal for it.
And hitting that amazing shot that you hit on 15.
Yeah.
That beautiful display of what an optimized golf should look like.
Shout out to my knowledge of this game and knowing when to let the ball roll sometimes.
Right. Sometimes you just got to put your hands up and just let the game run its course, and that just comes with, well, 6 years of experience of running the game.
You won't see anyone else until someone new comes along and starts grinding the crap out of this game. You won't see anything like what you see with my skill, which, you know, that's tooting my own horn a little bit, but it's just the truth, unfortunately.
I mean, rightfully so. Your time that you have on the board is what, 5.5 minutes ahead of the next contention time, and then even after that, there's like another 5 minutes after that. There's a lot of time saved to be had for our second through like even 7th place runners. We have a large amount of names up on the boards, but not a lot of them come close to optimal. It's not a very contended speed run as far as world record goes. So if you guys want a piece of that, head on over to our speedrun page on speedrun.com and come take the allegedly free world record that's sitting there. Allegedly free.
Shameless.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
And here is that instance of the game we were talking about earlier, where we're going to be going back and getting the better bike, not only a reskin because pink bike is best, but also to overall stamina usage. We're allowed to be much more liberal with our stamina and our sprinting now.
Absolutely.
And then also too, as VVazzip mentioned, I'm going to let him kind of take over and talk about this, but this is the routing that was pioneered by Meekmos.
Yeah, so basically the super jump mechanic that I've been talking about this entire time is going to be utilized in a big way here, hopefully. These reverse log jumps have been very weird today. Anyways, so we're going to utilize hopefully the first super jump here. Oh my god, we actually got it.
And got it first
That's
try.
the first
Beautiful.
one we need to hit. That is one of potentially 3, but we just messed up the other one. I'm actually going to be doing a slightly different route since I'm going to be doing another trick in a second here. So I'm just going to grab these really quick. But yeah, simply we just grab these items in the Grizzly Gulch. That is what Joey is asking of us. He's going to give us coins afterwards for it. And from here, I'm going to do what's called a Grizzly Gulch clip. So let's see. First try?
And
No.
no, unfortunately.
I'll try it again. It's this one is a lot more finicky. I lost audio.
Oh, rip if we can get audio back for VVazzip, that would be great.
I won't go for it.
Yeah, this is the most finicky of all of the clips that we have in the game. So kind of understandable that we had some failed attempts there, but regardless, if you can get it at just like the BD Farm clip that we saw earlier, it is a very, very cool clip.
This might actually be a little weird. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and that is an. Oh, whoa! uh,
I like I said, the bike, it's very weird.
but that is an example of what the animations look like for opening the gate if you do not or cannot do the animation skip. So.
Yep. I still have no audio.
Let me see if production is back there real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. How you doing, gaming guy?
I'm doing pretty good.
You doing pretty good? That's good.
How you guys doing?
Oh, chilling. Okay, let's hope. Okay, sounds like I don't think my mic is working still.
I
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes,
Okay.
I did just speak to production, and they're working on a hot fix right now.
No
So
worries. So long as the stream can still hear me or you can still hear me. That's all that matters.
absolutely. Here, I'll check chat and see what they have to say.
If you want to talk about Jared 3 skip here,
Okay, cool.
just really quick.
They stream can hear, but so
Okay, so I guess I'll explain in that case
Absolutely.
since I know it a little better than you.
Yes.
So basically, what we did in Joyride 2 is essentially what we can do in this minigame, except without the checkpoint being out of bounds, we actually have to clip through a fence. We're not going to go for it in this run just because it will just lose a lot of time. It's not really a worthwhile trick. Still no consistent method for getting it, but we're hoping that someday that the 30-second time save that comes from it will be consistent.
yeah, there's essentially just the same we did in Joyride 2, where there's an area where we head out of bounds.
It's coming up here, just on the left side. It's going to be just past this white fence between with that barrier on the left. That's usually where you go out of bounds, and then you attempt it, but obviously we're not going to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's not just a standard out of bounds drive to the checkpoint. There's a second out of bounds clip that you have to do, which is the hard part of it, just because the physics that the farmer's truck has when interacting with objects and when it gets stuck in places are quite funky. And if you can wedge your truck in between a barrier, a tree, and a rock in a very certain way, the game collision doesn't want the truck to be stuck there, so it'll try to force it and out of that state of not being controlled. And sometimes, if you're lucky, it can just force it and clip it straight through the fence, and then you just drive a little further, and it completes the mission for you with about 30 seconds worth of time saved. But,
Yeah, to be more specific, you have to be like on your side essentially.
yes, yes.
And you just have to hope that your wheels are touching the fence, and if they are, and you're on your side, then you're going to be able to do the trick. But like we were talking about, it's very inconsistent, so it's just not something that you can really get down at the moment. But we're hoping that someday some trick gets found, or some method gets found to make it something. But I've only gotten it once in a run, and it was very much a Hail Mary out of a very red area in the run. I was very much behind.
Yeah, it is a very flashy trick, though, and it's very cool to see it shown off when it is successful. But yeah, it probably has about a 2% success rate right now, I would say, and that's giving it a lot more credit than than it's worth.
Yeah. I don't know about 2, man.
Yeah, 2 is an ambitious number.
Oh yeah. Next up here we have the 4th bike race, 4th out of 5. This one actually utilizes the super jump yet again, and this one is actually going to be the first time we manipulate the checkpoint system. So I'm sure a lot of people have watched the Summoning Salt Ultra shortcut video on Mario Kart Wii. That's essentially what we're going to be doing here. But it's a lot easier. I'm giving the game a little too much credit by saying that. But,
Oh, yeah.
It's similar, basically, and I have my audio back, so that's good. Oh, hello. That was a very interesting interaction there. Oh, and Bud got hit by the bike again.
Poor Bud.
Poor guy, man. All right, I don't know what my my sensitivity. Oh yeah, look at that sensitivity. That is gorgeous. Yeah. But hopefully get the super jump. No, okay. I'll try it one more time. Somewhat got it, kind of used the barrel there, but it works regardless. So basically we stop right here, turn around, and basically do the race backwards for a little bit here. And it's as simple as going onto this dock, going onto the log, and spin it like that. And that is
Very
basically
nice.
how you skip the entire race. Very simple. Very simple. You don't even have to do the super jump method to be saving time on it too. So it's very worth doing in a run, even if you do it like casually. It looks like I hit a checkpoint. That's so okay. No, we're good. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a little visual marker on the ground there for those who are wanting to learn how to do this trick. There's a little piece of vegetation off to the left side of the path there. To be safe, go past that piece of vegetation and then turn around and go back. But the trick does have a lot of leeway in where the game stores your checkpoint progress. So
And once again, we're just gonna peel off the bike.
it's beautifully done.
Yeah, that not my best bike race 4. This one is I optimized it no end really. It's kind of like impossible to gold that split again.
Yeah, that's kind of the case with a lot of the splits in.
Yeah,
in your-
at this point in the run, absolutely, I agree.
It's getting to the point where a half second to second golds are huge.
Yeah, we actually just recently reached a 253 sum of best, so shout out optimization.
Which
And yeah,
crazy.
crazy, absolutely crazy. Coming up here, we have a mission by Miles. Yet again, being lazy, not doing any of the work, but he's gonna force us to do it. Essentially, the raccoons plugged holes in the pipe that gives the pigs water in their mud area. So we actually picked up a flower, that way we can actually skip the animation for stomping the hole. There is an animation for it. Obviously, we're not going to see it this run, though. But yeah, this is another optimization that, like, that jump was not utilized for a while. But it definitely saves time if you're able to get that jump without any hitches. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, another thing about these holes is that you have to be like, the hole has to be right in front of you for you to actually interact with it. It's very finicky. It's yeah. Let's hope that the bike goes far away. Okay, we're
Good
good.
deal.
Sweet. And then we instantly put the flower right back into the inventory, and it says 0. It's kind of fun. Okay. Luckily, we have a bike that spawns right here after we teleport back to Miles.
One of the only instances of the game where our save location at the end of a mission is completely disregarded and it just spawns us back where the start of the mission is. That's why we are able to bail off the bike and just kind of disregard our bike placement at the end there, like we saw, because we know that it's going to spawn us back in a set location every time.
So this is going to be the last chicken lunch minigame.
Thank God.
Yeah, the hardest one, for sure. You're going to see how tight some of these circles are going to be. Like going through that boat between these two. Gotta go. Oh
Yeah, that's an example of
that was me, honestly. That was
Yeah.
kind of just my issue. All right, I'm gonna use the keys to finish this one out. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's usually my safer method. So you can use the keys or you can use the mouse. You have to make sure with the mouse that your sensitivity is not too low, which right now that's the case for me. So I'm just gonna utilize the keys because that is actually how I did this mission for a long time. But I did not practice this way, so it's gonna look a little weird. Get it regardless. Ooh. Get none of those circles. I'm not even gonna go for the 50. All right.
the
And
50
that's-
saves like maybe a tenth of a second.
Yeah,
so
it's the most minor time save really. But that is gonna conclude the chicken launch mini games.
oh, thank God.
And now we have yet another exciting auto scroller or a timed mission. So
Woohoo! Another 3-minute auto scroller.
this one we actually do have to try a little bit on, so it's not the end of the world, I guess. Like I mentioned in the first Chasing Chicks, because we're about to do a second Chasing Chicks mission. This one, you can leave early, but you have to make sure that there are no chicks that have been thrown by the Jersey cows. So we just got to make sure that we do the dancing animation, and we'll be good to go to leave early. Yeah, unlike the one versus Otis, we're not really able to do a manipulation to like have these guys kind of all stand in like the same area. They kind of just act off of each other as well. So as you can see, like they all kind of just spread apart instantly. So we got a little unlucky there. But this the one right in front of the chicken coop is going to be the best one to go to. It is 15 points, as you saw. I'm going to show you. There's pink ones on the outside, as you can see, but that stops the timer. So we don't want to lose any time to something that we have control over, of course. Even though it does give us the most amount of points.
Yeah, with point counts really aren't a concern though, fortunately, with this, as long as you're just kind of moving and making sure that you're scoring at least fairly consistently. It's not even a sweat.
Yeah. Dude, these spawns are bad. Another quirk about this one is also the you kind of have like an aimbot across the map with the lock-on feature. I want to see if one of them is gonna show up. Yeah, like you can snipe them from across the map. It's kind of interesting how it works. Does not happen like that for like the can missions, for example. You have some leeway, but not that much. Alright, I'm gonna just get 100 points, that way we're just satisfied. That way I can just be a little free. But most importantly, I have to make sure that they're not gonna throw any chicks at the end.
Yes.
So actually, I'm gonna just say screw it. And
Yeah.
they're all bunched up, so
I was going to say, fortunately, they're all just screwing around over there, so.
You're not escaping. You're not escaping. No, hey. There we go. Alright, so long as I do the dance animation, we should be good to leave. Which they are not even throwing anything, so we are chill. I do like that they also give the Jersey Cows glasses
Yes,
in that mission too.
Everybody needs a disguise.
Yeah, because weirdly enough, when you squirt Ig in the open world, he actually squirts back, but without any glasses. So
Yes.
it's just funny to see him actually have them this time.
Retaliation.
So as you can see in the bottom left on the map, which I never even mentioned the map.
Yeah, that's a thing.
There's an arrow pointing at a mission, but we're going to come back to that one. This is another optimization that was found by the Dutch invasion. That was completely by accident yet again. So basically, we used to go to the last veggie defense, which is what that mission was, but instead we are going to go to sleep first because you can actually complete the 4th joyride. So we're going to complete that really quick. Hopefully have some clean driving as well. Yeah, this one I've tried to find glitches for. Not really a lot of success though. I think there's like one area where you might be able to clip out of bounds usually using the Joyride 3 skip method, but it's come to no avail. I haven't really given it that much thought or time really. But you're kind of doing the same thing as Joyride 3 here, just slightly different. The main thing that you want to be careful of in these joyride missions is flipping your car over. If it happens, it's really just up to the game on when they decide to flip you back onto your wheels. Ooh.
Yeah, the controls and just the way that the truck is handled in this entire mini game, it's there's a decent learning curve to it, to say the least.
As I'm doing some Dubai stuff. Gotta love the two-wheel drive. Yeah, this corner you can sometimes take a little fast, but if you take it too fast, like your car can just flip over. So you gotta be careful on things like that, especially if it's gonna save you time.
Yeah, there's kind of a risk-reward payoff to taking the corner fast and just slamming the fence and holding your momentum. But like VVazzip was saying, the trade-off is that sometimes you can just flip the truck over and lose like 10 to 15 seconds of the game trying to get you back on the right track. So Just risk reward analysis. That's what a lot of this run is. It's there's a lot of things in this run that are very minor time saves that are very high risk. And it's kind of cool that we're getting to a point where to push world record even farther than what it is, we're kind of having to start to take a lot more of those gambles.
Absolutely. I mean, especially with that BD farm clip that we got earlier,
Oh,
that is
gorgeous.
definitely going to be, if I'm able to get that consistent, then, that's
Going to be added.
3 seconds, but, time save is time save.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
We will take any optimization we can get at this point.
Did you have that BD farm clip in your gold, do you know?
No.
Okay, so yeah, that probably would have been a gold.
There's a good chance. That's why I said it. I'm like, that felt pretty good, man. I don't know. I can compare it later. I complete brain fart. I accidentally pressed the F key. You're not supposed to do that, as you can tell by my reaction. This loses probably 30 seconds.
Yeah, we're just so used to spamming out of text boxes. I've done it too, to where sometimes you're just used to spamming, and unfortunately the same interact key that we use to interact with text boxes also activates the portal for going back and forth to sleep. So
I think that was just the jitters of this Red Bull running through me right now.
oh yeah, that's the wings.
Yep. Okay, man.
Once again, more some jank with the collisions. There's one point of notoriety by Walnut Woods entering BD Farm where it looks like the texture is completely flat. However, it comes to a point right in the middle of the path, and it looks like you hit nothing, and you just go flying, man. So I'm glad we haven't shown that part of the game off yet.
Yeah, really.
But
this is one of the scarier veggie defenses. I've lost a really good pace to this run, and many others have failed this mission plenty of times.
yeah, this is the one I was talking about earlier, where you can get into a essentially frame perfect soft lock where you're just locked out of your movement and it's just spamming and praying to get out of it.
Yeah. Sometimes these raccoons are very, very, very fast, and sometimes they take their time. It's very much up to how the game wants to act. But a way to avoid the tomatoes is just by simply jumping and moving to the side while aiming at them. So that is something you're going to see me do a lot of. And there is actually, I've done it a couple times in this run, a rolling animation. If you go to the side, I'll show it off here, just because it's a funny animation. You don't see it too often. But yeah, more fun gameplay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, solid 33 minutes of auto scrollers throughout the game definitely makes it fun.
Animation. That's the rolling animation I'm talking about there. Just to show it off quick. But we are halfway through this mission. I did not mean to do that. I meant to throw that raccoon, but I could have just left him. Oh well. I think that one's gonna go over there. Yeah, it is what it is. Luckily I got 3 of them in this one. But yeah, usually you can do the stalling of just standing at the hole that they come through. But because I messed up and accidentally plugged the hole of the part of the fence, that I obviously wasn't able to do it. Yeah, and another thing about the tomato throwing by these guys is that sometimes the tomatoes are just invisible.
Yeah, that's also a fun one too, is to just get spam hit out of nowhere and you can't even see what's being thrown at you. So more great
It's crazy.
uniqueness that this game has to offer.
But we are getting close to the end game here. We are basically at end game here. We are going to do the next mission is going to be the last and final bike race. And then we have the 5th golf. So close. We're
Followed
so close.
by the 6th golf.
What, isn't there, but before we get to that 6th golf, we have the worst mission in the game. So.
Oh, you mean the best mission in the game?
Oh, well, one of them.
The first half is pretty great.
Yeah. Randy's favorite.
Oh yes, you guys will all see why. Let's just say that the view was immaculate.
Oh, okay, buddy. Hold your horses. Before we enter this bike race, though, we are going to do, I think, the last gate animation skip, at least. So we do that before we enter. Just, simple. But yeah, this bike race actually goes throughout the entire barnyard, so there's only one lap, thankfully. We are going to instantly I'm going to go for something that I call eddy surfing right here, where basically I'm going to full sprint this first part. And I don't think I'm going to get it, unless I do. Okay, so we surfed Eddie for a little bit there. Sometimes you can ride him for like a while, and that will save up your stamina a good bit. But the other trick I was going to talk about, basically you go up to this fence where the barrel meets, and then you just spawn on the other side of the fence. Very simple. I had a lot of trouble getting that one down for a while.
Yeah, the location of where the checkpoint on the other side actually activates, it's a little bit past, like, just a few in-game units past where that barrel actually is that knocks you off. So if you get unlucky and when you fall off and clip off the bike, if you don't have a little bit of momentum carrying you forward, you can just get put right back at the same place where you were instead of clipping to the other side like intended.
I did not mean to jump there, but it kind of worked anyways. And then we have two other tricks upcoming here. The first one is going to be the Grizzly Gulch jump, kind of what I did similar to what I did earlier with the super jump routing I did up to Grizzly Gulch, but instead we're going to do the more consistent method. I'm going to still go for like a super jump, that way I don't have to jump too high. Let's see if I'm able to get it though. I wasn't able to get it first. Oh wow, yeah, that is not how you want that to go, and of course Eddie slams into my bike. Okay, wow. Usually this is not how it goes, but I went for a risky method, so that's why it's going this way. Anyways, so it's going to say wrong way for a long while, but we're going to do what we did similar to Bike Race 4, and we're going to just go to a certain point of the race and then turn around, because it's just going to put us in first place right there. And then we have another instance of another super jump incoming here. This used to be called Ben Hill jump. It was a very hard trick to get down up until we found out that you can jump with 2 keys. So now it's very fast.
It was a main part of the route actually before Dutch routing became a thing. But yeah, it became obsolete after we just found more efficient methods with mission pathing and everything. But still a remnant of it seen here in this bike race. So not all that work was put for nothing.
And one thing you have to keep in mind is that if you bail too soon there, you can actually fail a mission, because Eddie has a catch-up mechanic that kind of just on Bike Race 5, he'll just appear right behind you. So you just have to be careful of that as well. All right, and back to that Bike Race 3 skip that we did earlier. We're going to hopefully get it this time as well. If not, no, we're going to get it.
Absolutely.
Good enough.
Not
exactly what we wanted, but it'll work. That's another method of doing it. So I basically showcased all 3 ways of doing it.
Yeah.
To look at the bright side of things.
Intentional, surely.
Yeah, intentional, yeah. Calculated. But we are going to be doing the 5th golf, like I mentioned. And this one, like Randy said earlier, is the precision variant. So basically normal golf, I guess, kind of. This one is not very hard to do, though. The other one, Golf 6, is going to be a little more difficult, at least for hole 18. But even then, I don't really struggle with that one anymore, so...
Yeah, it's more or less if one of those things where if you just stay calm and actually execute your shots correctly, then you really don't have much of a worry. But if you start to panic, and things can turn very, very south very, very quickly.
Absolutely. Oh boy. Another thing, one thing I haven't mentioned as well is that I have been buffering my inputs.
Good shot.
Okay. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. No, but I buffer my movements by the time the ball hits the ground. And sometimes the game, like, for the most part, the game does actually like do the input correctly, and then there's like that handful of times where it just doesn't. It points in the complete opposite direction. It's the most irritating thing about golf, I'd say. At least for me. But yeah, luckily we only have the front nine to do this time, but we are getting close to the end here, so.
Unfortunately, getting close to the end.
We just have to get through the worst mission.
Oh, you mean the best. Nothing like a 5-minute auto scroller.
Yeah. And by close, I mean 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
I'm realizing. Yeah, there you go.
Great hole one.
I was finally able to get it. I was trying to get that the entire time. Thank God.
Last chance to do it, and he pulls through. Clutch as always.
I wasn't even. I mean, honestly, I was brainlessly doing it. So shout out muscle memory.
Yeah, when you have over, 3,000 attempted runs on your splitter, you tend to pick up a thing or two about the game.
Yeah.
There is actually a way on this hole where you can get a hole-in-one if you hit that rock that VVazzip just bounced the ball off of at a very specific angle. It can take a random 90-degree turn into the dock and hole-in-one. However, it is extremely risky to do.
I'm gonna go for it.
This is the hole-in-one we were referencing
And
earlier.
I got bad RNG already, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. Wait, hold. Hold. No, I didn't get it.
No.
Unfortunate. What's the button? That's the button. Oh,
Oh,
right behind
man.
the hole. I think it bounced past the hole and then they threw it back up and it landed just
Hey,
right
you know what?
there.
All things considered, though, that could have
Yeah.
been a lot. Had you a lot worse off than what the game decided to give you there.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a shot that is rarely, if ever, attempted in runs. Kind of what we were talking about earlier with Joyride 3 Skip. One of those Hail Marys.
0 for 3 on that first shot on hole 9 today, but that's okay. Can't win them all. That should go in. Sweet.
Oh.
And the slight thumbs up animation skip as well.
Yeah, if you wanted to quick explain that, that's a cool thing.
Yeah. Basically, it's not very consistent at all. But sometimes when you're on the dock as the gopher, you're able to just simply, if the ball falls in while you're moving on the dock, sometimes it just skips the animation, but it doesn't actually skip it. It's still the same amount of time. But that is the end of chapter 6 there. We move on to boy tipping, which involves my favorite mission, Randy's favorite mission, and then my least favorite.
Y'all will see why. Don't worry, y'all are about to learn today.
Oh, brother. But we have what is called Tease Miss Beatty coming up here. And instead of getting 100 points, we are getting 200 points this time around, just like the Tease the Mailman mission. It's kind of weird that, like, this late into the game, we have, like, a mission from the very start repeating. Kind of reminds me of, like, the mud jumper thing. Like, it's one at the very start and then middle, but this one starts at the very end. I don't know. The way they decided these missions is very interesting. But this one is definitely the luck that you need to get a really good time. Is like the perfect RNG that you could get is 2 long animations. Mr. Beatty turns his head, and then 2 more long ones that ends the mission basically.
Yeah, that's it's very, very rare to get that many good dice rolls in a row, though. So I think I've only witnessed it a couple of times, actually. That's how rare it is, and I've watched and played a very, very good amount of this game.
Oh yeah. All right. And weirdly enough, when you play at the resolution we're currently at, there's a void that just exists
Yeah.
in the BD house. So there is no cow.
There is again!
Classic gaming guy hitting us with the voice lines that we sadly cannot hear at the moment. Decent RNG so far, though. He's
Oh,
probably going
yeah.
to turn around one more time. Yeah, I got the bad animation anyways, so it's not a big deal. I don't know that I should have gone for that, actually. I'll just finish off here, and 200, boom. End of the mission. Goodbye, Miss Speedy.
Like how he just tips his can at her and is just like, yep, we're drinking.
I'll drink to that, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the reason why the Jersey Cows are here, and the reason why Otis had us do that in the first place, is that they hot-wired the BD car. So now that we are in boy tipping, we are going to be chasing after the kids that have been tipping the cows over, basically. Reenacting the scene of Snotty Boy boy tipping from the movie. But unfortunately, we have to endure a 3.5 minute auto-scroller, really. Follow mission, but we like to call it auto-scroller.
Yeah, the mechanic, since it's on keyboard and not a trigger, of how you can accelerate the vehicle, and also the fact that it has a Lamborghini V12 under the hood, it makes this a fun game of actually using A and D to move side to side to regulate your speed, rather than using the brake, just because the brake is very, very harsh on this car.
To explain it a little better too, for example, you can tap the W key, and as you can see in the bottom right, it just slowly accelerates, and if you don't press anything, it'll just continually do that until you press another key. Obviously, if you hold it down, it'll accelerate a lot faster, but yeah, it just keeps going faster. So you gotta be very wary to not get too close, and if you're too far, you will simply lose the mission.
It's very, very easy to do, however, it's one of those things where if you just aren't thinking or just have like a quick lapse in judgment, where it can just kill a run instantly. And it's sad to see a run killed so late.
Oh yeah. It's happened.
It has happened, it's happened. I know that I've personally done it, so it's definitely not impossible, but yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things where you can't completely just zone off, however. Not much thought involved.
Yeah. See, like, I don't even know how I'm too close there.
Yeah.
One thing that I have started to do on this mission is hit the garbage cans out of boredom. But the one thing that you have to be wary of is that if you're going too fast, and like, I don't know the exact mechanic that the garbage cans use, but I think if you're like moving to one side or the other and you're accelerating really fast, it'll kind of just shoot you in that direction if you crash into it. But yeah, the hitboxes of these trash cans, like we mentioned earlier, are very wonky. So you always got to be careful for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of instances in that with this game where the game has collisions that it doesn't necessarily enjoy calculating, so it just kind of throws you wherever.
Oh yeah. Surely that'll lead to a wrong warp.
We can only hope.
We
Just get
can
the
only-
U win screen.
Dude. Not even that, just end this mission sooner.
Yeah.
Usually I use the songs in this game to know where I'm at timing-wise for all the missions, really. And this one in particular, it always ends at the same exact time, but I can tell by the curve that's popping up on the bottom left of the map that we're about to end this mission, so thank you everyone that soldiered through it. Yeah, it should end right here. Sweet.
Well
Very
done.
fun. Thank you. That was very draining.
The hardest mission in the game.
Alright, now we get to drive as fast as we want to. And I think, I could be wrong, but I think the BD car might be like slightly faster than the truck.
I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. I could be lying, but it feels like it, at least on this mission.
Source, I made it up.
Precisely.
Yeah, so a little bit of game lore. Essentially, we're noticing that Snotty Boy and his friends were heading out to our neck of the woods to go and do some more cow tipping escapades. So we decide to do the thing any normal sane person would do, follow them home, break into their house, go up into their bedroom, and push them out of their bed, yell, "That's called boy tipping," laugh at them, and then drive away from the police in a high-speed chase.
That's just an average Thursday night for me, man.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I told you on your flight over here to Pace, if you see a red car being chased by 15 state troopers by Pittsburgh, to wave hi to me.
I know why now.
Exactly. Officer, I was just recreating the game, I swear.
All right, and we're just going to look at this floating star for a little bit. And now we're on to the final golf. Oh my gosh.
This
I
is,
can't believe we finally made it.
This is considered to be the last major milestone in the run, and it's once you make it past this golf with a decent time. All things considered, it's kind of the all clear for a run. However, there have been several runs of VVazzip's recently where it has been decided literally by the last split if it's going to be a world record or not. So just because you make it past here doesn't necessarily mean that you have the run in the bag or that you're not going to PB, but it's usually a pretty good indication point.
Yeah, the last two missions are very luck dependent, as is the case with most of the missions in this game. But yeah, you'll see why. I won't get too far into it just yet. But thankfully, we are finishing up golf, which is, like I said, the most difficult part of the run. It's truly just become a lot more difficult to have consistent runs because of golf. The way the game acts just really makes it just that much more difficult sometimes. Like, you can hear the pain in my voice. Like, it hurts. But again, it is my favorite minigame, so I'm always happy to do it. It's just the results do not always make me happy.
Yeah, and sometimes golf likes to have a mind of its own, and sometimes, well, at least for me, more often than not, it's a skill issue. But
it happens. Yeah, I didn't throw
Oh.
up there. No, I saw that coming. It is what it is. Okay. I did not mean to pick it up again.
And there is a perfect display of combination skill issue and bad luck.
Yeah.
It's a
But
very
we're going to perform this hole 11 clip one more time. Very easy to learn. When you first are starting to learn the trick, it definitely has like a learning curve to it. But as I've gone on to just make this run better, I've learned that it's actually just very lenient. Like Randy said, a lot more lenient than he thought it initially was.
Yeah, it usually not. Well, usually now I can get it pretty consistently first try every single time. But there's a little bit of a learning curve as far as, so the way that the trick actually works is you launch the ball, so you purposely miss the timings to get put into
The bottom right quadrant.
yeah, and then you shoot the ball over to the right, and oh, that was close. The trick though, and if you're able to get the clip, is more determined on the angle that which you pick up the ball. So that's if you are at home and trying to get that trick down and you're struggling with it, watch some of VVazzip's runs to see the angle that he takes the gopher to actually pick up the ball, because usually that's the point where people struggle with the trick the most, is getting that angle down.
That might go in.
Oh,
No, yeah.
man, just a little-
Weird geometry around the hole will always mess you up there.
A little too much sauce on that one.
Got too much dip on your shit.
Exactly.
Please give me the left side. Okay.
That left side again, beautiful. If we could see it twice, that'd be phenomenal.
That would be. That might work. It might not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
about
think
that
it
one.
might.
Maybe.
Nah.
Nah.
It's close.
Yeah, it
Once
was
you
a
saw
little-
that little twitch to the side there, that's how you know.
Yeah.
Like just barely missed. Let's see. That should be a clean
Good recovery,
though.
though. Great
That is
recovery.
the one thing about this hole that I've had to learn is to recover cleanly because of just how inconsistent getting a hole in one is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Weird bounce there, but it works. Okay. Alright, decent hole 15. You can't complain too much about that.
The only real downside to this hole is if you get a little bit too ambitious coming off of that last ramp segment and the ball rolls into the spiral without you actually putting power behind it, it can take about 6 business days to get to the hole.
It's terrible. Don't know if I got the angle there. Oh my god.
Oh, absolutely. Easy
Great.
work.
And then there's a chance that this goes through the last ramp as well. I don't think it's going to happen, but yeah. If only that piece of wood wasn't there.
Yeah, you're just not built differently like me. Sorry, buddy.
Okay, man.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, it was fine.
Make me sweat a little. It's good for me. Keep my heart going.
All right. Once again, we're going to do the hole 17 clip. That was perfect.
That was phenomenal.
And then this should go through the loop too, I think.
Oh,
just
barely.
barely. I didn't have enough power anyways. Not able to show off the hole exactly how I wanted to, but that's okay. My golfing has been very good today.
Yes,
so
very clean and consistent. I hope that we can carry that into next week's streams.
Oh yeah.
Because if you can golf like that, man, we're gonna see another world record.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping for 258. That's the dream.
Can't wait to see that, man.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's not a matter of if it's when.
It's when. All right, let's see if I can actually get this too. I don't know if that's good. It is good. Finally. My gosh. It only took 3 back nines. But yeah, that's the throw I've been trying to get this entire time, was straight through that loop. No issues at all. So I'm very happy to at least have gotten that loop throw once, found by Erratix, of course.
Shout out to Radix. He's taking his exam right now, so good luck to the homie.
Good luck, Erratix.
Let's go education. And that completes golf. Finally.
I could almost cry. I'm so happy right now.
Grueling endurance minigame.
Oh yeah.
And now we only have 3 missions left until the game is complete.
Make that 4. We have 1 more auto-scroller incoming here, unfortunately.
I don't count that.
Oh, you don't count it? Okay.
No.
That's why.
I just have it as a given part of the game because it's not really a skill issue thing. But
In terms of actual gameplay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotcha.
But as far as mini games where we can control the pace up, we have 3 more. We have to do some more stomping for Miles again because he has commissioned us out to be his unpaid worker. And then we have another tomato defense, this time against raccoons. And then we have the final mission of the game, which is our showdown versus Dag the Coyote, who is the one who slayed Ben that night.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, the homie. A good cow.
Good cow. I need that on my headstone. A good cow. There's one way to be remembered.
And this is thankfully the last auto-scroller of the game as well. After, gosh, how many of them we've had? 8?
7.
Oh, boy.
3 chicken coops, 3 veggie, and then the 1 joyride. Oh, I guess chasing chicks. I forgot to count those too. So I'm wrong, actually.
9.
There's 9. Look at me, man.
Grand total of, like I said, about 31 to 32 minutes of auto-scrollers.
Yeah. And I guess I forgot to get some of these raccoons, or geez, coyotes. It's the graveyard shift, don't blame me.
That's a funny looking raccoon.
I'm tired, man.
That's awfully aggressive for a raccoon.
Oh yeah, I guess I'll show off the swinging animation that these guys do too. Oh.
Yeah, they just kind of go to give you a high five.
What's up, man?
Square up, square up.
Square up. Yeah, it's very hard to actually lose health on this mini game so long as you're actually paying attention. Yeah, the one thing about not having audio is that I'm not able to hear if I'm actually hitting these coyotes as well, but there's always visual indicators, so. Okay. Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll use this time to just to shout out all the community members. Really, I
Absolutely.
mean, Meekmos has been a huge factor of this game being pushed down to sub 3. Really, um, because of him, I've been scared that he's gonna take my record back again, which he's done 3 times at this point. Um, I also want to shout out Infinite Core, like we mentioned earlier, for modding this game and bringing more attention to it, really. Of course, Randy on the mic, gaming guy behind me who's been doing all the voice lines. I'm very glad to have 2 moderators here with me. We also have Blubs in the Discord, Erratix, another leaderboard mod who has very much optimized this game. Party Turtle, Yelman, of course, too. We have Niaz. I know I'm definitely forgetting people.
Oh yeah, all the people who have runs up on the board though have contributed something amazing to this community,
Absolutely.
whether it's support or whether it's
Hello.
finding.
Our number 3 runner who just happened to miraculously get that run.
Yeah.
But I coached him a little bit. That's the one thing I have done is I'm willing to coach people to learn this game. So
Yeah, the amount of work outside of stream that you do for this community is really phenomenal, man, as far as coaching, compiling guides, and making tutorial videos. So if you guys want to learn this game, like we were saying earlier, VVazzip does have a lot of great tutorials on his YouTube, for instance, with JCSS, that first major out-of-bounds glitch that we saw earlier in the game. He has a phenomenal tutorial video on his YouTube on how to do that, so
YouTube
definitely,
Randy.
definitely check it out.
All right, and that will conclude the final timed mission. Something to be happy
Finally.
about.
And now it's quite literally the home stretch. We just have those 3 last missions, and the run will be concluded. Crazy how fast 3 hours can go by.
You're telling me, man. This will also conclude the 7th chapter as well.
Yes.
We now move on to, what is it? Otis leaving a sudden decision. That's
Yes.
the name of it. But Otis leaves the barnyard. Just gonna do some buffering movement here. One thing that you can do in the loading screen is basically just do a jump. Just press the space bar and then what's it called? You'll just be up in the air when you instantly when you spawn in. Doesn't save any time or do anything all that great, but I just like doing it. All right, and just like the mission we did earlier in the run where we were stopping the holes because of the raccoons, this time we're doing it again, but we don't have any flowers that are like close enough to really save time to do it, so we're actually just going to do animation skips for each of these. And this movement is actually kind of a little crazy. I don't know about crazy, but I've optimized it pretty well. Basically making sure that I'm just non-stop moving. Which before I would have to stop during these animation skips, and which I kind of did there, but it just didn't look as clean as I eventually have optimized it to look like.
Yeah, and this one, contrary to the last topic we did, we don't pick up a flower for this one, so we can't just walk up to the holes and put the water leaks out. We do have to do that jump animation cancel.
For this last one, though, we don't have to do it, thankfully, so you actually get to see the animation.
Yeah, just have to scuff in the ground.
And then a weirdly long black screen, and then, yeah.
And now we sleep.
Now we sleep. Once again, a lot of sleeping in this. Okay, and this mission is going to be the second cow tipping that we do. Instead of kids this time, it's going to be, raccoons. Because for some reason, I guess the coyotes and raccoons are kind of banding together. Which, weirdly enough, in the Game Boy version of this game, the raccoons are actually helping us to defeat the coyotes. Fun fact. But I guess that's not the case this time. Which also shout out to the Game Boy community as well.
Oh yes.
They recently had, I think, a pretty big minute barrier broken as well.
It's been a minute since I've watched any Game Boy runs. I need to get more familiar and knowledgeable on that run so I can pop into some of the homies chats.
you're gonna question why I'm, hopping off the bike here. But we're actually gonna be able to leave the save files, leave the save file and re-enter it, saving about 10 seconds. So we'll do that after the mission. Because for some reason this is the only mission that actually auto-saves right after. But we're not gonna hit any of the crates this time around. It just ends up losing a little bit of time. So we're just gonna do just the regular tomatoes with animation skips. So yeah, fun stuff. We're gonna hope for some good RNG as well. Good spawn. Hopefully we get one on the left over here. Nope, it's gonna be at the top.
Super Tomato is very useful for this mission because you're able to also all the raccoons take one hit to eliminate. So if you can get the Super Tomato, it allows you to get raccoons earlier than normal because they can be hit from outside of the normal area where their hitboxes register or are activated rather.
Yeah, Party Turtle found the reload animation skip, by the way. Again, I think another accidental find, which is just common theme in speedrunning.
Oh yeah.
But you love to see it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of really cool tricks that have been just screwing around or just you do something in a run and you're like, wait, what happened?
I mean, I don't know how I'm ever gonna recreate that calculator one.
Dude, that's man. I hope somebody clipped that.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Worst comes to worst, I'm sure we'll have the VOD for this, but surely.
Oh, there we go. Oh, looks like we actually got some decent spawns. I don't have to worry about that guy though. All right, I think we have about really.
Wow.
I think we have a couple more raccoons though.
He was going at it for a long time.
That should be the last one, actually. Nope, never mind. I lied. I like lying. That's the last one. There we go.
Also, too, at the end of the mission, there it was discovered if you press escape and then to go into the pause menu and then leave the pause menu, you don't have to do any of the time waiting on the you win screen. It just instantly populates that scoreboard menu. So
Yeah. But we are coming up on time here, so
yes, the last mission is approaching. So
we'll just have that ready.
yes.
Alright, so we're just going to quickly leave the save file, like I said. Surely it didn't mess up. I doubt it. Hi, Mom. Okay.
Hi, Mom. Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom. Shout out to Mom. Alright, and I in that loading screen, I actually buffered a jump. That way I skipped the yawning animation that usually happens like that when you open a save file. But yeah, this final mission, basically the coyotes came and took all the hens out of the chicken coop. And also Otis is, because he went away, he went to go get revenge on the coyotes, was his whole decision. So he got caught up, so we have to come save him, as you can see on the right side there. He's freaking out. He doesn't really help us in this mission. Sometimes he does, but very rarely. Alright, we got Wild Mike here. No Biggie Cheese, but at least we have Wild Mike.
Great consolation.
The only thing that does suck about not having... Oh, I can't shoot because my guy was stuck in an animation. The only thing that sucks about not having any audio is that I won't be able to hear Dag, which he is here. So that's 1, 2... Surely? Okay, he gave us some pretty good RNG there.
Right.
So we just have 2 more phases of Dag, and then we will be time.
Yeah, there's 2 different kinds of, or 3 different kinds, no, 2 different kinds of ways that you can hit Dag. The first being the one that VVazzip did, where you shoot him at the earlier timing before he actually throws the barrel, and that one does more damage. The second of which is Dag throws a barrel, you shoot the barrel, and then shoot him.
Like
so,
that.
yeah, just like that.
That was very clutch flicking right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just doesn't spawn for whatever reason. It's, again, just another instance of RNG.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Okay, so we are going to be coming up on time here pretty soon with the next time that DAG shows up.
Yep, after this next cycle.
And when the U-Win shows up, that will be the end. But this has been quite the run, really.
Absolutely has been. We've had some funny new stuff that we haven't seen before, and some truly great gameplay and great golfing going on. So really just phenomenal display of skill from VVazzip today. Truly thankful to be out here at pace and
All right, here we go.
to be able to watch the homie complete one of the best games in the world.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
And
Time. There we go. Wow, what a run.
Phenomenal run.
All right, well, I got 303. I don't know how that happened.
I told you, man. I told you before here that I called it was going to be a 303X. You didn't believe me.
Anyways, it's been a real pleasure to showcase this game and this beautiful speed run. Obviously, a very long one, so anyone that toughed through the entire thing, thank you so much. Thank you to the PACE organizers. Thank you to Speedrun.com as well for having this game, I guess. I don't know. Thank you to everyone that has supported this game and supported my journey as a speedrunner with this game. And the community that surrounds me is a little overwhelming with the amount of support that they give me, but I couldn't be prouder. So, yeah. Thank you, Randy, for also commentating.
Absolutely.
throughout this entire
Thank
run.
you for the invitation to come out. It was an absolute pleasure watching you play.
And Gaming Guy, of course.
Of
Not
course.
forget Gaming Guy as well. But yeah, that was Barnyard. You can check me out at my stream. It's VVazzip, but with 2 V's instead of a W. I will probably be playing this game a lot more. But yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you, guys. And stay tuned. We got Borderlands 2 coming up, so very excited to see that run.
Oh,
so
yeah.
thank you guys very much. We appreciate everyone watching and all the members of the community, and hope to see some of you guys who aren't in our community yet join up. And just thank you to the PACE organizers again for making all of this happen. It's truly been a phenomenal time.
Absolutely. One more thing before we reach out. Hold
Yes.
on. Sorry. Just one more thing. One more thing. I promise. It'll be quick.
I knew.
Yeah, I mean, I had to.
Yeah.
I had to do it, you know. Oh man.
Phenomenal way to end the run.